Time for an elastification.
And you're telling them...
Hello? Now.
Well, there's no bad time for elastification, but the best time is now.
Pretty soon, Arizona temps are going to put a strain on your AC.
Now is really the best time.
You're not telling people about all the money they save?
Now.
Or how Alaskan AC will make their AC last longer?
Now.
Or the big 1-year guarantee that their AC will not break down?
Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Well, Ron wants to tell you a bunch of stuff. I know. That's kind of what I told him. Okay, thanks. Oh, by the way, now.
The best time for elastification is...
now.
Schedule at AlaskanAC.com. Now.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We are the sports station that Tucson turns to for all the latest news when it comes to Arizona men's basketball, along with all the play-by-play action. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
From the what? Central Northwest Tucson. Duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
And Cricket, getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names, David Scott Kelly.
It is Territorial Cup night here in Arizona. On the baseball diamond, the Wildcats and the Sun Devils kind of do battle up in Tempe at Phoenix Municipal Stadium. 4th meeting of the year between the two teams, first in the non-conference. Won't count as a conference game, but it's a huge game from the Territorial Cup standpoint as the Wildcats look to even the season series with the Sun Devils at 2 games apiece. Arizona State came in to Tucson earlier this year and took 2 of 3 from the Wildcats, but really that was before this team got going. That Wildcat team that the Sun Devils faced here in Tucson way back in March was a team that was still trying to figure it out. Had not quite done so. Back in mid-March when our eyes were still glued to Arizona basketball. Sun Devils came in, won 3-2, 4-0, and then the Wildcats blew them out in the Sunday game, 14-3, I should say. That was back when the Sundays were really fun. Remember when the Wildcats were just blowing people out on Sundays? Beat ASU 14-3, beat Oregon 15-4, beat UCLA 10-9. I mean, they were blowing people out on Sundays. That was the thing early in the season. Before this club got good. Before they emerged to be the team to beat in the Pac-12 conference. Now the Wildcats are the team to beat, and ASU will try to do that tonight in a game you'll hear right here on Wildcats Radio 1290, coverage beginning at 6:20. So we're going to take you all the way to 6:20 tonight. Brian Jeffries in Tempe tonight. He'll have the call. We're going to talk some Arizona baseball. Chris Harris will also be on the mic tonight for the Pac-12 Network broadcast. We'll get Chris's thoughts on this contest. It's still a midweek contest. Other than the fact that it has some meaning in the Territorial Cup sense, probably not a whole lot of other meaning outside of, it's ASU and you always want to beat them. Arizona with a 2-game lead in the Pac-12 over Utah. That's when the games start to get really important again when they get to Salt Lake City on Thursday for a series that will start Friday morning. 3 games against Utah with a chance to bury the Utes in this race for the Pac-12 championship. And then you'll come home for Oregon State May 16th, 17th, and 18th, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, for the final 3 Pac-12 conference games, which could decide a regular season championship for your Arizona Wildcats. In the terms of the Territorial Cup Series, however, if the Wildcats don't win tonight, they're probably not going to win the Territorial Cup Series this year. Right now, the Sun Devils with an ever so slight lead. They've got 10 points. Wildcats have 9.5 points. It's first one to 11.5. Now, the crazy thing about baseball is the Territorial Cup Series in that respect might not be wrapped up tonight because there is the matter of the Pac-12 tournament. And Arizona and Arizona State could meet multiple times there. They could play twice in Scottsdale later this month. Now, the way the Pac-12 baseball tournament works is it's pool play. So first and foremost, Arizona and Arizona State would have to be in the same pool, which they were last year. At the moment, they are not scheduled to be in the same pool. The pool seedings for the Pac-12 tournament are 1, 6, and 9 would be in the same pool. So seeds 1, 6, and 9. Arizona right now, obviously, is the 1 seed. ASU is not currently 6 or 9. I believe they are, in fact, 7th at the moment in the Pac-12 conference. So, in that respect, there would not be a pool situation involving Arizona and Arizona State. But if both teams advanced out of pool play, then you could get a scenario where they meet in the semifinals or maybe even the finals if it gets to that point. It becomes single elimination after that. If they did get into pool play, the same pool, if somehow Arizona State snuck into that 6th spot, which actually right now they're tied for the 6th spot with California. So conceivably they could be in that 6th seed spot and be in the same pool with Arizona. Then you might play them at least once in pool play. And potentially if both teams advance out of pool play, because you get the pool winner and then you get the top wild card. So conceivably, both teams could advance out of pool play to the semifinals. That's how you could potentially get multiple meetings with Arizona State in baseball at the Pac-12 tournament. So we might know who wins the Territorial Cup Series this week. We might not know who wins the Territorial Cup Series this week. But we would feel a whole lot better about it if Arizona won on the diamond tonight and at least put themselves in a position for a split of that point. Because then it comes down to track and field, and you never know what's going to happen in track and field. Right now, the Arizona men trending a little bit lower than Arizona State. The Arizona women trending a little bit better than Arizona State. The Pac-12 track and field championships will be this weekend in Boulder, Colorado. So a lot to be decided in the Territorial Cup Series realm this week. We've got it. I've got a write-up on it. Head on over to our website right now, wildcatsradio1290.com. Even better, download our app. It's real easy, folks. All you got to do is go to your app store, type in Wildcats Radio 1290, download our app, and I've got the complete breakdown of what has to happen in the Territorial Cup Series as we look to finalize these final 3 points. Baseball, women's outdoor track and field, men's outdoor track and field. It's all right there, easy for you. We don't want it to get to a tiebreaker because that's not looking good for Arizona right now. The tiebreaker is highest standing in the Directors' Cup, the Learfield Directors' Cup. And right now, ASU is 29th and Arizona is 66th. The good news is for the Wildcats in that respect is they're probably going to qualify 8 of their 9 spring teams for the postseason. The only team that won't qualify is beach volleyball. They've already not made the postseason, and we talked about that last week. That's the toughest postseason to make because there's only 16 teams. And ironically, it was the Wildcats' loss to Arizona State at the Pac-12 tournament, which clinched the Territorial Cup Series point for the Sun Devils that also likely kept the Wildcats out of the NCAA tournament in beach volleyball. Had they won that match against Arizona State, they probably go. Instead, the Sun Devils won, and Arizona State got the bid to the NCAA tournament. We've gone over the swimming thing. Arizona lost a ton of points because their swimming programs did not qualify well at the NCAA championships. And then indoor track, they didn't qualify anybody into indoor track either. So that's over 150 points that they left on the board from last year alone. And you throw in the fact that Arizona State has won 2 national championships this year. They won the national championship in triathlon in the fall. They won the national championship for the first time ever in men's swimming and diving in the winter. Arizona has not won any national championships this year. So that hurts them as well. They were outscored, I think, like 331 points to 188 in the winter by the Sun Devils. And, of course, the Sun Devils, the other thing is they play some sports that Arizona doesn't play, like wrestling. And they got points for that.
They're really good at badminton.
The Sun Devils?
Yeah, apparently so.
I didn't know that one. That one, JW, is news to me. JW, Madden joins the show.
So
with badminton.
ASU has won national championships in men's archery 15 times.
Okay.
Women's archery 21 times. Mixed archery 20 times. 13 times women's badminton. 17 times mixed badminton. None of these are recognized by the NCAA.
No, and I would imagine those are what we term legacy sports at this point.
At this point, yeah.
Yeah. But good for them. Back in the day, they were pretty good at that stuff.
I don't think I've ever seen collegiate level badminton.
I have not played badminton since high school. I think that was the last time I ever played badminton. We had that in gym class in high school. That's how far we go back. Have not played that since then. Now it's pickleball.
That was the original pickleball, right? It's like if you had bad knees and you couldn't move around, then badminton was your sport.
When is pickleball coming to high school?
Well, I don't know. I'm sure eventually.
We got women. We got girls flag football now. I would imagine that pickleball is not that far behind.
It's growing rapidly.
I mean, one of the best players in the world. I was watching the pickleball channel when we were on vacation last month. I spent an hour of my life, lost an hour of my life watching the pickleball channel, and like one of the best players in the world. I think she's like 16 or 17 years old. She's really good, and making a lot of money doing it. All right. This is an interesting crew we have here as Cricket joins us because none of us have children. That is correct. I remember that correctly, right?
Correct.
Not that we know of, no.
None of us have children. Exactly.
Well.
Exactly. Well, you laugh about that, but yeah, there was that trip to Mazatlan for spring break. You never know what might have happened there. So our U of A alum, I don't know if you guys heard about this. Our U of A alum, Gilbert Arenas, took a shot at Rudy Gobert, who plays for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Right.
Because Rudy Gobert missed, how many playoff games was it? Was it one or two?
Just yesterday.
Yesterday's game.
Yeah.
Rudy Gobert missed yesterday's playoff game because his wife was having a baby.
Okay.
Yeah. So Gil comes out and says, well, the baby's going to be there. He couldn't understand why Rudy Gobert would miss a playoff game to go witness the birth of his child.
I got a question. Did Gilbert make these comments before or after that game was played?
I think it was before.
Because
I think it was over the weekend.
Minnesota ended up winning that game that Rudy didn't play by 25 plus points, and probably their best defensive effort of the season without him there. So they did on the defending champions home court.
Yeah. I mean that's the story in itself. The fact that the Timberwolves are beating up badly on the defending champs. But could you ever imagine a scenario where you would go to work and not go see the birth of your child?
I can't even imagine.
No, I mean, again, he's from France, and I don't know the full backstory, but I know that he was in waiting, and then his first son was born. Mm-hmm. And I don't know the distance he was from Denver at the time of the birth, whether or not the choice was for him to stay or that he just simply could not make it back in time, one of those two. But either way, I don't care. I think it's up to an individual to make that choice, and if their employee gives them the leeway to not have to be there or they're going to be fired, then they get to make that choice, and he did.
Yeah. So...
I don't know. It seems like the mother would be kind of irritated. Be like, sorry, honey, I can't get the day off of work. And you would think, I mean, a playoff game, I know that's important, but also is the birth of a child.
Right.
You know,
So now people are coming into question like, okay, so yeah, it was a playoff game, but what if it had been like the NBA Finals, like the actual championship series, or if you're a football player, what if that had been the Super Bowl or something of that nature? Would you have missed the Super Bowl to go witness well, first of all, you know, if your wife is going to have a baby right in the middle of the most important time of the year,
right?
That's bad timing.
Can't
on
you
your part.
plan for that?
That's bad timing on Rudy Gobert's part to begin with.
9 months before the Super Bowl, just you stay away from each other.
You know when the play. I mean, and granted, it's the summertime, and I know you got all this time together in the summertime because you're working 6 months out of the year. But you know, you got to plan better. You know when the playoffs are going. I might be busy in mid-May if we're really, really good like I think we're going to be.
I think, as I just said, I think it's great that Rudy has the ability to make the choice. He made the choice. Can fans of that organization be upset that he didn't play in a game that they felt was super? Sure. I mean, both can be true, right? I mean, it's okay to be mad that he voluntarily missed a playoff game, but his reason to do it, DK, I mean, how can you tell somebody you're not allowed to be there, you know? And again, if you planned that, have your first child on the day of the most important game of your life, Super Bowl, playoffs or otherwise, then that's kind of on you.
Did you miss work for the birth of your nieces and nephews?
I think every one of my nieces and nephews was born on a weekend.
Oh, see
but like
how
I had
convenient that is.
I had my nephew with me when my first niece was born, and then I think that's correct. I think each niece and nephew born on a weekend. Yeah.
I'm just glad the Timberwolves didn't lose, so we don't have to hear
Hear it
their
worse,
fan base scream about Rudy Gobert not being there. All right, cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives. We'll talk some Arizona baseball against Arizona State with Chris Harris coming up next. But first, cricket's getting you home safely.
And from the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Collision occurred from the westbound side of I-10 near Palo Verde. Off in the median, slow both directions. Westbound I-10 backups approaching Valencia to west of Palo Verde. Eastbound I-10 slowing, approaching and passing the Ajo-Kino connection. Other collisions at Orange Grove and Camino de la Tierra, on Speedway east of Campbell, and also at Speedway and Park Avenue. 60 the low and clear skies, sunny, 88 tomorrow and 88 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Discover. As humans, we like having options. One option you might like is speaking with a real person when you call about your credit card. With 24/7 live U.S.-based customer service from Discover, everyone can talk to a real person anytime, day or night. Limitations apply. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
The very best in play-by-play is on Tucson's best sports station, Wildcats Radio 1290. This is the home of the Wildcats and NFL play-by-play. This is the one and only Wildcats Radio 1290.
Okay, kids, we're home. Everybody out.
Ew, my feet are stuck.
In what, honey?
On the floor.
Ew. Take off your shoes. Tommy, come carry your sister into the house.
What do you do when the car you use the most has the least amount of time to get clean? Let Recon Auto Detailing, Arizona's premier auto detailing company, come to you and turn your busiest car back into your best. From basic cleaning to a full detail, Recon Auto Detailing. Online at recondetail.com.
Desperate buyers have created tremendous opportunity for sellers. If you've had the slightest thought of selling your home, it's time to call Sean Poston with the Poston Results Team at Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. Why choose the Poston Results Team? Past performance, more money in your pocket, over a 65% referral rate, an incredible Poston Results Team staff, and most important, communication, because you and your home matter. The Poston Results Team. When buying and selling really mattered, go to TucsonHomeValues.com. That's TucsonHomeValues with an S.com.
Improve visibility and save $8 instantly when you pick up a new pair of Bosch Icon wiper blades in-store only at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Bosch Icon wiper blades have up to a 40% longer life than other premium wiper blades. The professional parts people will even install them for free at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Celebrate Cinco de Mayo from May 4th through the 11th at Nana's Kitchen, where everyone is treated like family. Located just north of Cortero off Arizona Pavilions Drive. Enjoy authentic Sonoran cuisine and award-winning cocktails. Nana's Kitchen also has a private selection of spirits and beer. As part of their Cinco de Mayo celebration, enjoy $5 Reposado shots with Herradura, along with $5 805 Cerveza pints, 2 for $5 bottles of Corona, Corona Light, Dos Equis, Pacifico, Modelo, and $5 Corazon Margaritas. Life is always good with some CNS. You know, chips and salsa. You can never go wrong with their tacos, chimichangas, or burritos. Make that burrito enchilada style. Why not? Nana's Kitchen is always serving up amazing Mexican food made with love straight from Nana's heart. That's Nana's Kitchen. See you soon.
And this Friday, we have a sweet deal for you from Nana's Kitchen. You can get a $50 gift certificate for just $25. And this sweet deal will go on sale this Friday morning at 8:30 at WildcatsRadio1290.com.
Android users, you can tune into the home of the Wildcats by downloading our new app at the Google Play Store, so you can tune in wherever you are 24 hours a day. The home of the Wildcats is everywhere. This is Wildcats Radio 1290. DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Arizona baseball on the road tonight. It's the Territorial Cup Series, the lone non-conference meeting of the season between the Wildcats and the Sun Devils. You'll hear it right here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Brian Jeffries on the call. We'll take you all the way to 620 when Brian will take over from Tempe. The game also will air tonight on the Pac-12 network. The man who will call it on that side, TV, joins us now. He is Chris Harris, a locally based broadcaster up in the Phoenix area. Chris, we've never spoken to you before. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and I don't know that I've actually seen you on games before. So how did you happen upon doing games for the Pac-12, and how long have you been in doing so?
Yeah, I've been doing it for the last 3 years, and yeah, it's been fun. Actually, I was just down in Tucson last month to do the softball series, Oregon and Arizona with Kenzie Fowler. Always great to work with Kenzie. Does such a great job, and obviously just a star in Tucson with her playing career as well. So, yeah, just been getting after it for a while here, and just really excited about the game here tonight. Can't go wrong with the big rivalry game between Arizona and Arizona State.
Now, you are a U of A grad, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct.
So tell us a little bit about your collegiate years here on campus.
Yeah.
You were here late 80s, I understand.
Yeah, late 80s, early 90s, and they were fun as far as I remember. It was a good time down there. I'm actually from Scottsdale. I just made the drive south there a couple hours to get away, if you will. But had a blast in my time in Tucson with the Wildcats. In fact, my last year down there, I spent the year interning at the Sports Information Office under Tom Duddleston, the legend.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was a blast learning from him. I actually got a chance to see him for a couple minutes when I was down there for that Oregon softball series with the Cats. So that was neat to see him. Always catch up. Just obviously a legend down there at Tucson Wildcats. So yeah, just had a good time down there, and it's great to see them again here tonight.
Well, before we get to baseball then, because we are going to be talking some softball a little bit later, just your impressions on what you saw with that Arizona team as they get set to go up to the Pac-12 tournament this week to face Washington on Thursday.
Yeah, they've got a squad, obviously. I mean, the whole pitching situation's been tough for them.
Yeah.
Obviously, all season long with the injuries they've had. But that said, you know, you look at the job that Aisa Silva has done and Miranda Stoddard and just how, you know, Caitlin Lowe's been able to piece that staff together and you know, the pitchers they've had, job they've done all year long. You know, they kind of answered the bell and have kept them in a good spot. And, you know, hopefully they have some success, you know, this week, you know, up at Stanford. So that said, I just saw ASU and UCLA just did that series, softball, this past weekend, and got a chance to see Maya Brady and the Bruins up close. And, boy, they are peaking at the right time, the stuff they're doing. And as you look at their roster, it's funny, you know, you imagine what it was going to be like. You know, they lost, the Cats did, Charlize Palacios and Mayoño to UCLA. You wonder what that Wildcats team would have looked like if they had not transferred out.
Yeah.
So,
Don't remind us, Chris.
Yeah, exactly. I was going through my notes. I'm like, oh my gosh, if they would have just stayed in Tucson. But yeah, that being said, that the players they've got there now, the job they've done, you know, Emily Sheff at catcher, you know, the freshman's done a wonderful job, and obviously Reagan Shockey out in center field. What a pleasant player she is. She is a blast to watch, and she's got a bright future there with Arizona for sure.
Arizona Wildcats grad Chris Harris is our guest. He'll be on the call tonight for the Pac-12 Network, Arizona and Arizona State. These midweek games are always kind of interesting, Chris, just because you know you're not sure what you're going to get in terms of if they're going to go bullpen game, which we've seen Chip Hale do quite a bit this year, and then a couple weeks it was actually last week against, you know, GCU, they got into a situation where he's like, well, I'm not going to throw any of my high leverage relievers in this game after they got down 12-8, and he kind of threw freshmen out there, and some of those freshmen took some lumps in what ended up being a 16-run loss. So what are you anticipating we're going to see in this game? Even though it's a rivalry game, it's still a midweek game between these two teams.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think it's going to be pretty much similar to what you just mentioned about the GCU game. I have not had a chance to talk to the coaches yet. In fact, I'm going to do that once we get done here. But I think when you look at it, as you said, it's a non-conference game, if you will. But, you know, Arizona, they still got two more Pac-12 series to go, you know, at Utah, and then they got Oregon State. And then, you know, if you look at ASU and what they've got coming up, you know, their last Pac-12 series, you know, is this coming up weekend at Stanford. So I think their eyes are going to be more on those games, if you will, than tonight's game. But that being said, it is a rivalry game, and each team does obviously want to win. And all you got to do is go back to the comments after Sunday's win, if you're Arizona, and Brendan Summerhill, and what he had to say about what he wanted to do, obviously, against Arizona. And then, you know, Willie Bloomquist, ASU's former All-American, now the head coach, answered in kindly right back to Summerhill's comments. And so the fireworks are definitely going to be there tonight. So I'm looking forward to that, no doubt about it. The emotions will be running high with tonight's game.
So how many times have you seen Arizona baseball this year?
I have not seen them too many times, just a couple. So
Okay.
I'm really looking forward to what we got going on here tonight. Yeah.
So what do you
it's obviously what they've done this season, though. That being said, Chip Hale, what a job they've done, leading the Pac-12 conference, 19 in the country. Obviously they're rolling right now.
What is, I guess, from what you've been able to gather and study, what has stood out to you, just kind of the way this offense has come together? One of the themes has been obviously the struggles they had early in the season, but have really put it together over the course of the last 6 weeks with guys like you said, Brendan Summerhill, and then of late, the freshman Andrew Kane out of Ironwood Ridge, who has just been absolutely raking the ball.
Yeah, no, you nailed it. Those two guys, and obviously, another local guy out of South Point, Mason White.
Right.
And the job he's really done all season long. I mean, what he's done is incredible. 14 home runs on the year. Tied for third in the Pac-12, the most by any Arizona shortstop. Dating back to the 1998 season. Through the Stat Crew era. So the job he's done, he's got a 17-game hitting streak. So what he's done has been phenomenal. And obviously, it's been the pitching. For Arizona, it's really carried them all year. They rank, the best pitching staff in the conference with so many stats. So, it's the arms that's really carried them. But, yeah, now that the offense is picking up, they're becoming a much more dangerous team moving forward.
Chris Harris joining us, broadcaster for the Pac-12 Network, will be on the call tonight for Arizona and Arizona State up in, Phoenix Municipal Stadium, just a little bit outside of Tempe. What's the sense for being up in Phoenix, what's the sense you get, Chris, of the job and the feeling about what Willie Bloomquist is doing there with the Sun Devils?
They feel like he's doing a good job, no doubt about it. I mean, when you're at ASU, kind of like at Arizona, the expectations are high. I mean, each of the programs have won, enough national championships over the years. You look at, ASU, they've won 5 national championships during their time, and Arizona's won 4. So that's always the goal, at least to get to Omaha in the College World Series, or at the minimum, make a deep run in the postseason. So, Willie kind of like Chip Hale in his 3rd season with the Sun Devil program, and like Chip, an alumni that played at the school. So obviously they want to see him do well, and certainly they're trending in the right direction. It's just taking a little bit of time, especially in this new world, if you will, of college athletics and all of the changes going on with NIL and transfer rules and everything. It's just become difficult to navigate along the way.
Yeah, you talk about obviously the two guys leading these programs now here within the state, both guys with big league pedigrees. Chip obviously played a little, Willie probably a little bit more better as a player. Chip obviously managing in the big leagues. What do you think that does for a college program to have guys leading it like that have those extensive big league pedigrees versus maybe a guy that just came up, like obviously our last coach here, Jay Johnson, who was a guy that just came up through the college ranks?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the end goal for all these players is to make it to the big league.
Right.
So when you're under a guy that has been there and done that, has that experience, I mean, that carries a lot of weight. So obviously you want to learn from the people that have been there, and you got guys like Chip and Willie. Those are 2 great guys to have leading your program. Now that being said, Jay Johnson, coming up through another route, as you mentioned, he's had great success doing it his own way.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if there's no really wrong way. It's just that, different ways, if you will. But certainly, the Major League Baseball pedigree certainly carries a lot of weight with these college players.
Again, we're chatting with Chris Harris, Arizona Wildcats grad. So, Chris, you've done some Rattlers stuff up there in Phoenix. I understand. What other endeavors have you gotten into on the broadcast side since your time down here in Tucson?
Yeah, I've done the Rattlers. Gosh, I got to think about this now. I was with the Utah Jazz for 8 years, as well as the University of Utah. Kind of doing sideline reporting, some play-by-play. On the University of Utah side, some sideline reporting. Did all that during my time up in Salt Lake City, and then since I got back here from that, I do a lot of the high school state championships as well. So we've got the softball and baseball state championships coming up next Monday and Tuesday. So I've been heavily involved in that as well. So it's been kind of fun to see a lot of the players that you cover during their high school careers, and then you get to see them again, once they get to the college level, sometimes the pro level. It's been fun to watch the journey.
As somebody that spent some time in Salt Lake City, what are your thoughts on the Coyotes move there?
Well, they're going to love them there. It's just, that market's ready to roll. I mean, we see the numbers of season tickets are already sold. I mean, last I saw, and this was like kind of when it all shook out, it was like around 12,000 season tickets they sold right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that being said, it kind of stinks that obviously that the Coyotes left town, but hopefully at some point in time we're able to get a NHL franchise back here, because this is a hockey town. It's just the situation didn't exactly work out with the last group there with the Coyotes.
All right, Chris Harris will be on the call tonight. Arizona State on the Pac-12 network. See, we got to add another name to our list of great Arizona Wildcats who have gone on to big things on the broadcast side. We'll put Chris Harris right up there, of course, next to the likes of Ryan Radke and Dan Hicks and Richard Jefferson and some of the other greats. Sean Elliott, all those great broadcasters / Wildcats.
With my name, when you say great, you use that term loosely.
Hey, always once a Wildcat, always a Wildcat.
There we go.
We like to flaunt our Wildcats however we can, Chris.
There we go.
Hey, Chris, we look forward to maybe talking to you again down the line when you line up again with the Wildcats on an assignment.
Hey, that sounds great. Appreciate it, and enjoy the rest of the day.
Chris Harris, check him out tonight on the Pac-12 network. In between, of course, listening to the great Brian Jeffries here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
So just now, about 3 minutes ago, Rudy Gobert won his 4th NBA Defensive Player of the Year award.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, the best defensive team in the league, the Minnesota Timberwolves. Did you see that one possession at the end of the second quarter?
I saw all the possessions. I just find it funny that Chris Harris, we just talked to, he worked for the Jazz for a while, right? So, yeah, he saw a lot of that. We just talked about him with cricket, missing the last game yesterday because of the birth of his son. Apparently, he was thought highly enough this year to win his 4th, and that's the most ever. He's tied with a couple other guys, but yeah, most ever 4 Defensive Player of the Year awards.
Is that right? So nobody's ever won
Ben Wallace. Yeah, Ben Wallace had 4 as well. There's one other person. I can't think of it off the tip of my tongue. I'll look it up, and we'll talk about it next time on the other side of the break.
All right. Getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather. Here is cricket.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Backups on westbound Valencia, approaching Nogales Highway. Freeway slowdowns, westbound I-10 slowing, approaching Valencia to west of Palo Verde. Eastbound I-10 slowing, approaching and passing the Ajo-Kino connection. Other collisions, Speedway in Park Avenue and also Speedway east of Campbell. And for your weather, overnight, 60 the low, clear skies, sunny 88 tomorrow and 88 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by ChumbaCasino.com. With over 100 online casino-style games, Chumba Casino is your go-to destination for nonstop entertainment. Play for fun and play for free at ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void or prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Make the right choice for your home when it comes to windows and doors. For more than 20 years, the Window Depot has provided the best price and biggest inventory on in-stock windows and doors. The Window Depot is open to the public, so whether you're a homeowner or a contractor, you can shop the enormous warehouse. Browse the shelves with over 1,000 vinyl windows, interior and patio doors, and skylights in several varieties and sizes available to go home today. Shop thewindowdepot.com or find a location near you. The Window Depot. Best price, biggest inventory.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com.
Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Now.
Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Now.
Hey guys, what are you...
Gotta take this. Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Now.
Thank you for... Right. You don't say. Now.
Hold it. What's with all the nows?
People want to know the best time for an elastification.
And you're telling them...
Hello? Now.
Well, there's no bad time for elastification, but the best time is now.
Pretty soon, Arizona temps are going to put a strain on your AC.
Now is really the best time.
You're not telling people about all the money they save?
Now.
Or how Alaskan AC will make their AC last longer?
Now.
Or the big 1-year guarantee that their AC will not break down?
Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Well, Ron wants to tell you a bunch of stuff. I know. That's kind of what I told him. Okay, thanks. Oh, by the way, now.
The best time for an Alaskification is
now.
Schedule at AlaskanAC.com. Now.
Make sure you download or update the Wildcats Radio 1290 app. We've got the entire state covered like no other sports radio station in Southern Arizona. Plus, when you have the app, you can cover U of A sports with Wildcats Radio 1290 anywhere and everywhere you go and out of town, too. The mountains, the beach, working out, or maybe even...
Oh, no. Turn that off.
Download or update the Wildcats Radio 1290 app today and never miss a moment of sports analysis. Well, maybe an occasional moment. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Get the backyard you've always wanted with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you're ready to dive in, then visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Schedule now and get 3 months of full service free. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. First Choice Pools, the first and only choice.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we fight. We fight for accident victims, injured workers, abused seniors, those harmed by dogs, negligence, or malpractice. We fight the government and big corporations. And most importantly, we fight the insurance companies. We've been fighting for Arizonans since 1989. We go to court, we fight, and we win. Call Goldberg and Osborne and let the Eagle fight for you. Now accepting work injury cases.
Tired of dry, itchy skin? Have mineral buildup at every faucet. Ram Plumbing's affordable, green, eco-friendly water softener and alkalized purification systems are built right here in our great state of Arizona and use a fraction of the wastewater as their competitors. Want soft water, non-chlorinated, or the best alkalized drinking water? You can trust Ram Plumbing to be your one-stop shop. Ask about their Water Taste Challenge. 40th year anniversary savings, up to $500 off water systems and $40 off any service. If your plumbing's in trouble, call Ram on the double.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Tucson area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com.
DK on the sports tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Diamondbacks baseball has begun in Cincinnati.
Diamondbacks download.
Baseball stuff! Baseball stuff!
First game of the 3-game series at the Great American Ballpark against the Cincinnati Reds. The Reds are struggling. They've lost 5 games in a row coming into this contest tonight. They're 16-18. The Diamondbacks at 15-20, coming off having lost 2 of 3 at home to the Padres and 2 of 3 to the Dodgers. So they've lost 4 of their last 6. It is on the mound tonight for the Reds. Fernando Montes is getting the start, and the Diamondbacks made some moves today. They activated Paul Sewald. Frankie Montes is on the mound tonight for the Reds. The Diamondbacks activated Paul Sewald from the disabled list. He had been out since after the season started with the pulled oblique, and so that's good to have the closer back. And, of course, I had to immediately go and grab him for my fantasy team, J-Dub, because my fantasy team is terrible right now. We're in 7th place out of 8 teams, struggling. My offense is just putrid. We can't hit above 200 this season.
So you don't have Shohei?
No, okay. I don't have Shohei. We'll get to Shohei here in a minute, but no, I don't have Shohei. I got Matt Olson, and he's having a terrible start to the season.
We got Shohei at home meme. Are you familiar with that one?
No.
So Matt Olson is your Shohei.
Yeah. So it's not going well so far. So Paul Sewald reinstated from the DL, and Scott McGuff optioned out to AAA Reno. Your starting lineup tonight: Corbin Carroll, I believe, got it out to start things off. Ketel Marte, Lourdes Gurriel Jr., Christian Walker, Jock Peterson, Eugenio Suarez, Jake McCarthy, Tucker Barnhart, Kevin Newman in the lineup. Arizona Wildcat, class of 2015, is playing shortstop and batting eighth tonight for Torey Lovello, and then Zach Gallen. Good to see Zach Gallen back on the mound as the Diamondbacks try to get healthy for sure. Starting out this 6-game road trip, they will play these first 3 games here in Cincinnati, and then they will head out on to the second half of the trip, and that'll also be back east for the D-backs after Cincinnati in Baltimore, and that'll be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this week. Gallen tonight. Jordan Montgomery will pitch tomorrow, and then it'll be Ciccone pitching for the Diamondbacks on Wednesday in Cincinnati. Slade Ciccone out of Oviedo, Florida.
Slade, huh?
Slade. We got a Blaze. We got a Slade. Got some names on this Diamondbacks team. I think you just start winning some games.
Right.
Got a Fott.
Fott,
yeah, you got some guys.
I had to look up Fott one time because it was such an unusual last name. I think there's like 358 people in the world with that last name.
Not a lot. No, a lot of empty seats at Great American Ballpark tonight. Do they not like this team in Cincinnati? I don't know.
Didn't you just say they lost 5 in a row?
Yeah, but still, I mean, it's Cincinnati. I thought the folks in Cincinnati love their baseball, but apparently they're not. They're not coming out tonight. I don't know. So there you go. Game just started. No score early. Diamondbacks and Reds. We'll update that for you as we go along. Now, J-Dub mentioned Shohei Ohtani, so we might as well talk a little bit about him here because I actually would love to have him on my fantasy team because I don't hit very many home runs, and he's hitting quite a bit of them. Another one last night.
Now to Ohtani. He swings and hammers it. Deep center field. Way back and gone. Tie game. Shohei Ohtani putting on a show early in the ballgame. He's the 11th home run to lead Major League Baseball.
Shohei is, remember we were talking about how he got off to a kind of a little bit of a slow start. But he's finding it for sure, is Shohei Ohtani. Like the man said there, 11 home runs now for the Dodgers.
He's got 4 home runs in his last 3 games, DK.
Yeah.
4 in his last 3 games.
It's been a good week.
It's been a good season. Like the power maybe numbers weren't there, but the shocking thing to me that I saw today was that Shohei is leading major leagues in batting average by 13 points, DK. He's batting .370 this season. 370. Mookie Betts second, 356. 370 is what Shohei's batting this season.
9 of his last 12 at the plate. That's
also, by the way, 9 stolen bases.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
9 of his last 12. You mentioned the 4 home runs, 7 RBIs to go with that, and he has struck out just 2 times. That's the last 3 games. So Shohei starting to heat up in his new home up the street from his old home.
Right.
The Los Angeles Angels down in Anaheim.
He probably thinks America's pretty small since all he ever has known is Los Angeles, right?
Exactly. That's pretty impressive what he is doing.
He is crazy, man. I mean, I know you've been watching baseball your whole life, but I mean, a guy, what's he like, 6'2", 240 or something? I mean, he's a bigger guy, and the fact that he's got such quick hands, you know, for that size. I remember Barry before the steroid era and like how quick his hands were. A guy that big, DK, you don't see quick hands like that very often from a guy like that.
No. All right, we got a lot coming up for you today. We are going to chat coming up at the top of the hour with Elijah Reeves from Pima Baseball. The Aztecs are getting set to play the Region Championship Series. That is coming up this week, so we'll chat with Elijah Reeves about that. Aztecs trying to win the Division I, Region I championship for a second consecutive year. Coming off their Region I semifinal victory, J.T. Drake had 11 strikeouts in the final over the weekend as they knocked off Arizona Western, beat them in a 2-game sweep, winning Game 2 on Friday by a score of 4-0. I mean, JT Drake was just electric. Talk about Clark Candiotti throwing a complete game. Sophomore JT Drake for Pima did the same thing, allowing just 3 hits, had the 11 strikeouts, did not walk a batter. He had a stretch where he retired 11 in a row between the first and fourth innings of his start. So JT Drake, big time, as the Aztecs now in the Region 1 Championship Series, which will start later this week. Also, we were talking yesterday about the big announcement by the Arizona Bowl that they have agreed to a new sponsorship with Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Gin and Juice, and the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl. Yesterday, we gave you our question of the day, whether or not you thought this was going to be a better, more productive partnership for the Arizona Bowl than the most recent one with Barstool Sports. The voting on that at our Twitter page, Wildcats 1290, has concluded. 95% of you said absolutely this is going to be a great sponsorship for the Arizona Bowl and Southern Arizona. Snoop is football. 95% to 5% in that respect. So I told you yesterday that we were going to, our question of the day was going to be another Snoop Dogg related question today.
All Snoop, all the time.
It's just they're just doing down the hall at the Vibe. They're just doing cartwheels.
I bet
over this. This was addressed in the promotions meeting this morning as Snoop Dogg. How can we capitalize on the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl having a classic hip hop station in the building? So they're loving it to death down there. Earn dollars and all those folks, they're
loving
just,
it to death.
I mean, loving it. Absolutely. We don't want to, not to death, like we don't want anybody, no guns and that kind of thing. No. But Gin and Juice by Dre and Snoop, they've got 4 flavors. So this is our question of the day today. What is going to be your preferred flavor of Gin and Juice by Dre and Snoop? So these are the 4 flavors. We'll go over them here now. You've got apricot or apricot. Well, how do you say it?
I've said them both. Like I said, I don't think that there is a correct. I don't. You know what? I'll say it this way, DK. I don't know if I've ever said apricot or apricot, and somebody's corrected me like, "How dare you say apricot? It's apricot." I don't think it works like that.
All right. Well, maybe that'll be a question of the day for another day.
Is it sprinkles or jimmies?
Sprinkles or jimmies? Okay.
It just depends what part of the country you're from.
Right. So apricot is one. Citrus is another choice. Melon is our third choice. And passion fruit is your last choice. Now, each one of these, this drink, gin and juice, 5.9% alcohol. So the apricot is premium light gin with apricot, honey, and bergamot. Do you have any idea what bergamot is?
It's some a witch will put in a cauldron to try to cast a spell on a kid.
You would know this. I'm going to defer some of this to you because you're the ex-bartender here. I've never heard of bergamot.
It's definitely
spelled Bergamot.
Yeah.
If you are a bartender and want to comment on this, please call us. 520-848 or 848-1290. 520-848-1290. Okay, so the second one is citrus, and this is a premium light gin with citrus blend, rosé, and lemon. That could be pretty good. I like rosé. Rosé?
Bergamot's a type of citrus, by the way.
Okay. Then shouldn't it be in the citrus and not the apricot?
Yeah, I mean, maybe you should give a call to their mixologist.
Right. Melon is watermelon and hibiscus. That's what that's mixed with. And then passion fruit is passion fruit, pineapple, and ginger. So those are your choices. Apricot, citrus, melon, passion fruit. Head on over to our Twitter page right now. We've got a poll up. Actually, you can vote on Twitter at Wildcats1290. You can comment on Facebook at Wildcats Radio 1290. We'll read some of your comments. Right now, early on, it's pretty even. 36% apricot, 36% passion fruit. One of the other two, J-Dub, has gotten no votes. Which one do you think that is?
The two remaining are melon and citrus?
Yeah.
Probably melon.
Melon.
Yeah.
Melon has gotten no votes yet.
I think
None.
the flavor, quote unquote, melon turns people off.
Yeah.
Generally, because what you described is not that standard flavor, which is usually not watermelon. It's specifically watermelon. It'll be called watermelon, right? Flavor.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's, quote, melon flavor, that's, maybe a honeydew or something like that.
So apricot and passion fruit, 36%. Citrus right now at 29%. So it's pretty even. Again, head on over to Wildcats 1290, our Twitter page. You can vote. What is going to be your preferred flavor of Gin and Juice by Dre and Snoop? Apricot, citrus, melon, or passion fruit? We'll be joined by Kim Adair. We'll ask Kim Adair that question. She is the executive director of the Arizona Bowl. She, too, is going to join us in the 4 o'clock hour. Again, they were drinking the gin and juice at the press conference yesterday. That's why it was so fun there. I was disappointed I had to miss it.
I got some stories about gin and juice from college days.
Oh, my goodness.
We could tell sometime.
Yes, we could.
Jungle juice.
Yeah, we could tell a few of those stories. All right, all that coming up at the 4 o'clock hour. Also, Andy Morales is going to join us. We'll talk some high school softball, some big games tonight. Tucson High trying to advance to the semifinals, and South Point Catholic also in the mix, as they always are. Empire is in the state championship game in Conference 3A coming up this weekend at Farrington Stadium at ASU. We'll talk about all that and more with Andy Morales in the 5 o'clock hour. We're taking you to 6:20 and Arizona baseball against Arizona State. It's DK on the Sports Tip. I've got J-Dub. I've got Cricket. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Collisions reported Wilmot near 22nd on Wilmot, south of 22nd Street, Craycroft and Broadway Boulevard and Craycroft. Backups on I-10 westbound, I-10 slowing approaching Valencia to west of Palo Verde, eastbound I-10 slowing approaching and passing the Ajo-Kino connection. 60 and clear, 60 and sunny, and 88 for tomorrow, 88 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by ChumbaCasino.com. Introducing Chumba Casino, the thrilling online social casino that's free to play. Head on over to ChumbaCasino.com now to join in on the fun. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
This just in, Goodfellas AC is matching up to $2,000 on federal tax credit.
Whoa, seriously? This is unbelievable. I gotta call Floyd at Goodfellas.
Hello, Goodfellas. Floyd speaking.
Is it true about the $2,000?
It sure is. Homeowners like you may qualify for a 30% federal tax credit up to $2,000 on qualifying heat pumps. And Goodfellas will match the tax credit dollar for dollar up to $2,000. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas.
Get the backyard you've always wanted with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you're ready to dive in, then visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Schedule now and get 3 months of full service free. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. First Choice Pools, the first and only choice.
We get you so close to McHale, it sounds like the Arizona Pep Band is riding in your back seat.
What the hell is going on?
This is the home of Arizona men's basketball. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hi, you know me, Scott Lehman from ScottSaysYes.com. Check out this month's Wildcats Radio 1290 Community Calendar powered by Premier Auto Center.
Visit the Wildcats Radio 1290 community calendar at wildcatsradio1290.com to find out what community events are coming up in the Tucson area. You can also find Wildcats Radio 1290 events, upcoming sporting events, and more. Get the details and get involved with our community at wildcatsradio1290.com.
Go to ScottSaysYes.com today.
It's no contest, Tucson. You're listening to the home of the Arizona Wildcats. That's why 1290 runs this town. This is the one and only home of your Arizona Wildcats.
And you know this, man!
We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Caruso's, a Tucson tradition since 1938, located on historic 4th Avenue. For 4 generations, Caruso's handmade sauce has been prepared with love by a family member, using only the best ingredients. Enjoy specialty Italian dishes like lasagna al forno, chicken tetrazzini, real Italian sausages, spectacular pizza, as well as many vegetarian options. Caruso's offers outdoor dining on their garden patio, with indoor dining also available. Open Tuesday through Sunday, with all your favorites available for takeout. For more information, call 520-624-5765 or visit their website at carusositalian.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8695. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at tra.com or call 800-575-8695. That's 800-575-8695. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We are the sports station that Tucson turns to for all the latest news when it comes to Arizona men's basketball, along with all the play-by-play action. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
From the what? Central Northwest Tucson. Duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
And Cricket, getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names, David Scott Kelly.
Hour number 2 of the program. We've got some great college baseball going here in Southern Arizona. We've told you a lot about the Arizona Wildcats and what they're doing. First place in the Pac-12 Conference. Well, how about the Pima Aztecs, who are going to play this week for a second straight Division I, Region I championship. And we're pleased to be joined by sophomore outfielder Elijah Reeves, now out of Marana High School. And first of all, Elijah hitting close to 400 on this season. How has that been going for you at the plate, that you are sniffing the hallowed territories of batting 400 on a season?
It's been good. I've been seeing the ball pretty well this year. Just being able to use my speed and, just put the ball in play.
So now when you talk about speed, what is your approach to hitting? Are you a guy that's trying to, maybe hit the ball on the ground, see if you can beat out balls in the hole? You bunts as well to try to beat out those types of, get those types of base hits. What's your philosophy up there at the plate?
For sure. So I'm a leadoff hitter, so my job is, try and get on as much as I can, create a lot of havoc on the base pass. So I try to, keep the ball on the ground, and I do bunt a lot, which I like to do. But, yeah, that's my approach, just hit the ball on the ground and let my legs do the work.
Now, I understand that you moved here to Tucson from Wyoming. When did you get here to Southern Arizona?
So I moved here the summer of my junior year.
So you started high school in Wyoming?
Yes.
What brought your family here to Southern Arizona?
So I talked to my family, and my parents were like super serious about me playing at the next level, and we decided that I'd have a better chance of playing somewhere if Arizona baseball is really good. So I had a chance to move with my grandparents and play ball here my senior year. So that's how it happened.
So did you feel, so walk me through then as you're playing high school, and I would imagine summer travel ball, did you just feel like you weren't getting enough eyes on you playing in Wyoming?
So in Wyoming, we actually don't have school ball. Like there's no high school baseball.
Really?
So it's
At all?
Yeah, no high school baseball in Wyoming.
Wow.
At all. So the only way you can get looks is just playing like Legion ball or summer ball and just trying to pick up, as much as you can.
And I would imagine that's partly because of the weather there?
Of course. It's cold. Cold all the time.
So then what was it like when you got here? Had you come here? You said your grandparents were here. Had you come here and played it all? I mean, were you kind of familiar with what baseball down here in the desert was all about?
So I've had uncles who've played here. My mom was an athlete who actually was at Marana. So they're just like, this would be a good opportunity. There's a lot of good schools like Pima. I knew Pima was here. I knew of Coach East. I knew of a bunch of the other D1 JUCOs here in Arizona. So that's where I wanted to take my chances at.
So now obviously you played in Marana for high school. And did you look at a lot of those other schools that you were talking about, those other JCs, or was Pima maybe kind of the number one place that you thought that you would want to go to kind of keep this thing going?
It was definitely Pima was at the top of my list, but once again, moving in from Wyoming, especially my senior year, no one really knew who I was. I tried to make a name for myself my senior year. I had an okay senior year, but nothing to make my name pop out. So I definitely was just trying to stay local and go to Pima.
Elijah Reeves is joining us. He is a sophomore outfielder for the Pima Aztecs. Now, how much did you play last year as a freshman, Elijah?
I didn't play. I think I played in about 30 games where I started, So I had I think I had 30 at-bats last year. My role last year was to be a base runner, to steal bags for the team, and, be a defensive guy towards the end of the game.
All right, so you talk about your speed. You mentioned that at the top and mentioned just now, stealing bags. So Elijah's on first. Talk me through how you're getting ready to take second.
So it always starts, before you actually are on base, just watching the pitcher, seeing what his tendencies are. Obviously, it's hard to do that, at the very, if I'm leading off, and it's at the very first pitch of the game, it's hard to, dictate what he's going to do. But later in the game, you find the tendencies of what he likes to do, his timing, what he does when he picks up his leg. There's a lot of different things to go into it.
All right, so this year, how many bags have you stolen?
I think I have 15 bags this year.
And you've been caught how many times?
3?
So
I believe. I don't know. Maybe 3, 4.
So when you get caught, what's mostly happen? Is that mostly you? You don't feel like you got a good jump, or how many times was it you? How many times was it the catcher just gunned you?
So most of the time it's just me either taking off too early and the pitcher just stepping off and throwing it to second, or it's just a bad read, by me. Just a good perfect throw by the catcher. There's nothing much you can really do about it.
What was it like for you? Obviously, maybe you like you said you didn't play a lot last year, but what was it like for you being a part of that team and winning a region title for the first time in, I think, 25 years?
Yeah. It was great. It was definitely a great experience, especially the older guys, the sophomores, not all left, it was just a great opportunity and just a great thing to be a part of, it's just, winning's fun, and being a part of our region, one of the most difficult regions, I think, in Division I JUCO, and just to win it was super fun.
So now you play outfielder, you're a center fielder?
Yes, sir.
All right. So who are the center fielders that you love to watch play?
So obviously, I'm a huge Ken Griffey fan. But recently, I've loved watching Byron Buxton. His game, his defensive game, actually insane. I think he can be an MVP candidate if he stays healthy. That's his problem. He can't really stay on the field. Another one is Mike Trout, but other than that, those are my top guys.
You missed Ken Griffey Jr. by a few years. He used to hang around here in Tucson a lot. His son played football at the U of A for a few years, so you missed him by a few years. He was always around town during the mid part of the last decade, the 2010s. It was great to have him here as a parent watching the Arizona Wildcats. Now, I'm reading your bio here, Elijah, and we're joined by Elijah Reeves, outfielder for the Pima Aztecs. And it says you text your mom before every game. What do you and your mom text about?
I just text my mom I love her before every game. It's been
Good
me
man.
and her.
Good man.
Oh yeah, she's the main reason why I play this sport. You know, it was just me and her for a long time, and she's just very special to me. So I always just give her a heads up right before the game, give her a nice text saying that I love her.
What is some of the things she tells you to try to put your mind at ease?
Just to work hard and to play my game. Here, I can read actually one of the texts that she said. She just says to work hard, always be true to myself, and don't let the moment get big. Pretty much.
Elijah Reeves joining us, Pima sophomore outfielder. How did you fall in love with baseball?
So I actually didn't like it when I first played. My stepdad made me play, and I was a big basketball guy growing up. And then he was like, you need to try it. And I was like, okay. And then I tried it, and then I started getting kind of good at it. And I was like, oh, wow, this is actually fun. And then, running down balls, throwing people out, hitting the ball. I just fell in love with it.
It's a great sport to be in love with. That is for sure. All right, what are you guys looking forward to this regional round and the opponent you got coming up this week?
Winning for sure. Hopefully we can get it done in 2. I don't want to play Saturday. I mean, that's the goal.
That was the mentality last week. We don't want to have to play Saturday if we don't have to.
Yeah. If we don't have to play Saturday, it's a good day.
And obviously, leading off for you as a leadoff hitter, what does that mean for you to be able to be that guy to get this offense going?
I love it. I'm glad that my teammates and the coaches feel like that I can be that guy for them. But, just being that spark plug in the team has always been my kind of game. I have a very uppity personality. But it definitely helps me in knowing that I'm doing something for the team.
All right, who's that one guy that hits behind you that you're like, okay, maybe I'm not running here because I know he's going to hit the ball in the gap and I'm going to score easily from first base?
Oh, Colin Sr. Colin Sr. has been hot all year. He's a freshman. He's been playing third for us this year.
What do you like about your pitching? Go ahead. What were you going to say about Colin?
Oh, nothing. He's been a dog for us all year. He's just been an RBI machine.
What do you like about this pitching staff you guys have so far this year?
When they're on, they're on. When we're throwing strikes, we're a very hard team to beat. The only time that we struggle is when we're struggling to find the zone, which is not very often. But when our guys are in the zone, it's really hard to beat us.
Talking about Colin Sr., you mentioned him. He's driven in 37 runs. You guys, what's interesting about this lineup is you guys got a lot. There's not just one guy who's driving in most of the runs. I mean, you got Nick Arias. He's got 35 RBIs. David Shackelford's got 34. Jonte Hennessy and Brent Craigle both have 33. Colin has 37 runs batted in. So there are a lot of different guys that are really contributing to this lineup.
Oh yeah, I think we have a very complete lineup. There's not really a hole, there's not somewhere where someone gets up and we're like, oh no, everyone is a dog in this lineup. We're very, very well put together for sure.
What makes Antonio Avila such a talented base stealer?
He is a freak athlete. Antonio is a freak athlete. But he's just super aggressive, and he has a track background, and he uses his length and his speed to his advantage, and he doesn't really think about it. And that's how I think he's doing it.
Antonio has stolen 28 out of 30 bases. Who's winning the 40-yard dash between you and him?
The 40, I have Antonio in the 40.
Oh, you've got him
in the 40. I have him. In the 60 though, he has me by a step. But I have him in the 40.
Because you get good jumps, right?
Yeah, I got those little legs. Little legs only travel so far.
So what's on the docket next in terms of the next level for you? Are there offers out there? Have you signed yet? Or are you looking at some opportunities? What can you tell us about that?
I haven't signed yet. I've been talking to a couple of D2s, Oklahoma Christian and Emporia State. So those are my two top schools right now that I've been talking to. But yeah, that's my future right now is those couple D2s. I haven't decided on which I'm going to go to yet. So.
All right. Well, you guys got South Mountain coming up Thursday, game 1 at 2 o'clock up at the Aztec Field on West Anklam Road. You guys won 3 out of 4 against them this season. What do you take away from those 4 games and how you look at the 2 coming up this week?
We know what they're going to throw at us. They're not going to have any surprises or anything. We just got to go out there and play our best game. I think, we're just a better team than they are, and we just have to go out there and play Tech baseball.
Finish the job. Win a second straight region championship. Hey, Elijah, best of luck coming up this week. Again, game 1 will be Thursday at 2 o'clock. Game 2 Friday at 2 o'clock up on West Anklam Road, Pima and South Mountain for the Division I, Region 1 championship. Good luck this weekend, Elijah.
All right, thank you.
Elijah Reeves out of Marana High School by way of Wyoming, outfielder for the Pima Aztecs. Again, head on up to West Anklam Road. I'm upset that I'm going to miss that this week as I've got to head out of town on Thursday back east, but had a chance to see those guys win that region championship last year on their home field, and there was nothing more exciting than that. Ken Hakimi, we had him on the show last week. He is the new athletics director, longtime baseball coach there for the Pima Aztecs, and they're looking to win a second straight Region 1 championship after not having won one for 25 years. Good stuff happening up there with Pima baseball. Also great stuff happening with Pima softball as well, as they're getting ready for their regional semifinal round coming up this week, and we'll get into more of that as well before we head out. Again, this is a short week for us. Shows today and tomorrow. We'll be off Thursday and Friday this week. We'll also be off Monday and Tuesday of next week. So we'll have 3 shows this week, 3 shows next week as we return on Wednesday. And, of course, we'll update you on everything that happened with the Pima teams coming up next week. DK on the Sports Tip. I'm David Kelly. Cricket gets you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Collisions reported Wilmot near 22nd Street, south of 22nd Street on Wilma. Also Craycroft and Broadway Boulevard. Still backups on westbound Valencia approaching and passing Campbell Avenue. Freeway slowing westbound I-10 approaching Valencia to west of Palo Verde. Eastbound I-10 backups approaching and passing the Ajo-Kino connection. 60 the low and clear skies, sunny 88 tomorrow and 87 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Robert Half. Robert Half research indicates 9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. Robert Half is here to help. Their recruiting professionals use proprietary AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. At Robert Half, they know
Are you putting it all over your tires?
It's basic science, Doug. This Uber hack should give me another 6 months on these old treads and make me locally world famous on Uber tubes.
So you'll be risking your life and your reputation.
Yes, Doug. It's all for my Uber tube fads.
Well, could you at least wait a week before you try driving up Mount Lemon?
At Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, we make buying tires easy. Our local warehouse is filled with thousands of great options, all at one low price. If you need tires for your passenger car, truck, SUV, van, 4x4, RV, boat, or UTV, call us or go online to jackfurriers.com. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, we're here to get you there.
Moments like my daughter telling me a new joke mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that is spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for adults with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
John brings his skewed sense of humor. Jeff brings tips to cut strokes off your next round. Together, it's those weekend golf guys.
They'll pay a lot of money to PXG and Titleist and Callaway and on and on and on, right? How many yards do you think you're going to pick up with that extra driver? I think I can get an extra 5 to 10. What if I give you 15 to 20? You pay me more.
Jeff Smith teaches on a sliding scale.
Those weekend golf guys, the podcast, part of the Believe Network. Just search BLEAV on YouTube or wherever you listen.
You go into your shower feeling, but as soon as you reach for the Irish Spring, your day immediately gets better. That crisp, fresh, unmistakable Irish Spring scent zings your brain and awakens your senses. So when you finally emerge from the shower, 37 minutes later, because you pay the water bill so you can stay in there as long as you want, you're ready to take on the day and smell great doing it. Irish Spring Body Wash and Bar Soap. Fresh, green, Irish. Shop now at Walmart.
O'Reilly. Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Wildcats Radio 1290 is everywhere. Wildcats fans can listen to us everywhere on our all-new app. Now available from the Google Play Store and the App Store for iPhone users. The home of the Wildcats is everywhere. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us. From the feelings that move us to the places that pull us on the roads that unite us. With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
I thought learning a language would be too much work, but Babbel makes learning fun. J'aime Babbel.
Babbel's lessons only take 10 or 15 minutes, and soon you turn and realize, hey, I'm starting to speak another language. How'd that happen?
Babbel isn't robots talking. You learn words and phrases from real native speakers. I was ready for real-life conversations in just a few weeks.
So easy. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. We appreciate Elijah Reeves for joining us. Pima College Baseball. Again, they'll play the Region 1 Championship Series up at West Anklam Road. That'll be Thursday and Friday, games 1 and 2. And like Elijah said, we don't want to play on Saturday. That would be game 3. And that would be on Saturday if needed, if necessary, as they like to say. So let's wrap it up against South Mountain in 2 and move on to the districts, which could also be in Phoenix next week. So that would be a positive if the Wildcats could do that. It would be awesome to stay home. I mean, they've been home for every round of the postseason so far. So let's just go ahead and stay home right now for the rest of it, if you can do that. And I mentioned that softball's got their postseason coming up as well this week. The ladies are going to be in the Region 1 semifinals, and that will begin, I believe, also on Thursday. The ladies will play, I think they're on the road, but yes, they do play Thursday. We'll get you the full information on that. They have not put that up on their schedule yet, but they do play Thursday, Friday, and potentially Saturday in the Division I, Region 1 semifinals after wrapping up their season this past weekend with a pair of wins over Arizona Western. So they kind of fell into a little bit of a rut. You remember they had won 26 games in a row, Pima softball, and then they lost 4 games in a row. They got swept by Central Arizona, then they got swept by Eastern Arizona, but they were able to finish the season with 4 straight wins, knocking off Yavapai in a doubleheader and then sweeping Arizona Western last weekend to wrap up the regular season. So they are ready now for their semifinal round. All right, that's actually, I think that's a little bit different. I think that's a double elimination on the softball side that they'll start playing this Thursday. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. A number of games in the NBA last night as the playoffs continue. It has really been quite a shock what has happened in the one Western Conference semifinal. The other one, when's the last time Oklahoma City played? They haven't played in like a week. They finished off New Orleans so quickly that they've been sitting around, I think, for about a week. Have the Oklahoma City Thunder ahead of their Western Conference semifinal
Normally,
series.
You'd worry about teams getting tight.
Yeah.
But those guys are all 23, 24, 25 years old, DK. So I mean, their knees aren't going to get tight from sitting around for 10 days. They're too young for any of that. And they don't know how big a moment it is.
Yeah, right? I was hoping they would not have too much free time to go around and get in trouble. You know, that would be my worry in terms of
that's a tight group. I don't know if you've seen recently, but Oklahoma City for the post-game interviews, they come out as a group. They come out with this entire 5. So if you want to interview Shea, they want to interview Chet Holmgren because he had a great day. You can't interview one of them. They haven't done a single interview in weeks.
Really?
It's the entire guy. It's all or none. So that's a really, really tight group.
All right, we've got the Cavaliers and the Celtics. That series is underway now. Game 1 in Boston, and that is tied early, first quarter, 23-23. And Game 1 also in the other series we're just talking about will be tonight as well, and that'll be the Mavericks and the Thunder, Dallas at Oklahoma City. That game will get underway at about 6:30. But let's go back to what the Timberwolves are doing. A 106-80 win over the Denver Nuggets last night to take a 2-0 series lead, winning both of these games on the road. I mentioned earlier, this is the best defensive team in the National Basketball Association. We mentioned also Rudy Gobert, the Defensive Player of the Year award. Charles Barkley talked after the ball game on TNT about why Minnesota's defense is so good.
Porter doesn't get shots on his own. He gets shots off Joker's double. Same thing with Aaron Gordon. They don't get the ball and go one-on-one. They only have 2 guys who get their own shot. Maybe a little bit Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, but they're playing the Joker one-on-one. They shut down Michael Porter because he's not getting wide open shots. Same thing with Aaron Gordon, but their perimeter defense, to play those guys one-on-one is pretty impressive. The length they play with, but man, we don't have them on that much. And you see, what are the number 1 defensive team?
You're seeing why.
They are the number 1 defensive team. The Minnesota Timberwolves are for real. They're going to sweep the Denver Nuggets, period.
Ooh, period. End of story. They had 3 starters, the Timberwolves, who did not score 10 points in this game. McDaniels, Anderson, and Mike Conley combined to score 15 points in this game. Carl Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards did the most lifting.
Yeah,
of that lineup. They combined for 54.
I don't know how much
the Timberwolves 106 points.
Game you watched. I watched that game start to finish, but it was really Cat in the first. He was super aggressive. Anthony Edwards kind of didn't really have it going, but then Ant kind of took over the second half. So they took turns, dominated offensively. But what Chuck said right there about not having to double Joker is the big one. Joker gets a triple-double, DK, every other game at this stage of his career. He's averaging like 40-plus triple-doubles a year, right? That happens because he's such a dominant offensive player at 3 levels. He can definitely knock down the 3 ball. He's dominant under the boards. You can't move him. He's got every single flip shot, all the touch in the world, and really capable of knocking down the mid-range. So most of his damage and most of the Denver Nuggets' offensive system is based around him getting doubled. And with Minnesota not having to double him because of how much length they have and getting in those passing lanes, that's why they've been dominant these first 2 games on the road.
And Chris Finch loving the defensive effort that his team gave last night in Game 2.
We've had some really, really good defensive efforts this year, but that has to be right up there with the best of them. On the ball, off the ball, the physicality, execution of the game plan, doing it over and over and over and over again requires like a physical and a mental toughness. They had that. I thought just really locked in on defense.
I think Rudy's absence did that even heighten everyone's awareness and focus, or what? How do you explain it without the best player on your floor defensively?
Well, listen, Rudy's driven a defensive culture here, and I think it's a testament to to his impact, his presence, and what he's infused into the team on how important defense is and how great we can be when we play it. That aside, we've always we expect to win no matter who's with us and who's not. And our guys truly believe that. And, we're very, 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 very happy for Rudy, extremely happy for him. And guys feel that way, but they're ready to go. It's just tweak a few things to the game plan and kind of just went at it.
33-15, the Timberwolves outscored the Nuggets in the second quarter of this game. Anthony Edwards says it was the defense and play by his partner, Karl Anthony Towns.
What did it take to kind of play the sort of defense that you guys were able to without your big man in the middle there?
Team defense. We had to switch the game plan up a little bit. But big shout out to Kat and Nas. They did a great job of not making us have to double tonight. I mean, they was playing straight up, and they played great defense without fouling, so they definitely helped us a lot.
Finch was saying this was one of your guys' best games of kind of playing in tandem. Carl started, got the offense going, and kind of in the second half, picking your spots. How has that kind of grown between the two of you of, knowing when to go?
It's fun, man, knowing I got somebody alongside me that, can get a bucket at any given time. If he got the hot hand, keep giving it to him. We both unselfish players. We don't care who night it is, whether if it's neither one of our nights. Nas or Jaden or Nikhil or Mike, it doesn't matter, man. In the playoffs, it's always a team win. And Kat did a great job of starting it off tonight because I definitely came out sluggish and slow, but eventually Kat gave me some energy and I found it.
Yeah, he mentioned Naz and N'Keal. Naz Reid and N'Keal Alexander-Walker combined for 8 3-point shots made off the bench.
Yeah, I mean, that's the sixth man of the year. So you're talking about why, Rudy Gobert missing the game because of the birth of his first child. Well, they got Naz Reid off the bench, and that's another 7-footer. The guy we just heard talk right there, though, you can say all you want about Rudy Gobert. He's the Defensive Player of the Year. Listeners, in case you didn't hear, about half an hour ago, he got his 4th. Anthony Edwards, David Kelly, is a monster. And I say that because if you haven't watched him this season, he's always been talented. He was the number 1 pick in the draft. Everybody knows that. But if you haven't watched the effort and commitment that he's got on the defensive end in particular, he is a monster on both sides of the ball, DK. So when your best player and potentially the future face of the NBA gives full all-out effort on every single possession, that's just leading from example. So Anthony Edwards is doing it. Everybody else has to do it. And they got so much length on that team. It's crazy.
Michael Malone, the coach of the champs, knows it's going to be tough going back up north, down 0-2.
It's going to be a challenge. The body language of our guys, is not where I think it needs to be. But we just got beat up in our building. We got embarrassed in front of our fans. The good thing is we don't play till Friday. We have a chance to kind of get away and think about what we want to do moving forward. And I'm not worried about anything other than trying to win Game 3, and really just trying to win the first quarter of Game 3 and build it from there. Take it 1 quarter at a time. I think it was a 4-point game late in that first. They closed 4-0. Now we're down 8, and they started off the second quarter 11-0. And that's when the game got away from us. Their physicality, our ability to get into our offense, get a shot off. We played in late clock situations all night long. So yes, you have to give credit to them, but we didn't own our spots, and we didn't meet their aggression and physicality at the level that we needed to. So I'll have a much better idea on that question, come Wednesday when we get back in the gym and get a feel for our players and where their energy is at. And my hope is that, we're down 2-0, not ideal, but it's a long series, first run to 4. Can we find a way to believe in each other, believe in ourselves, and win Game 3? That's all that matters.
Win Game 3, that's all that matters. Zeke Naji played 3 minutes in this game. Arizona Wildcats took 1 shot, 1 for 2 from the line, had 1 point, 1 rebound, and 1 blocked shot. Aaron Gordon, Arizona Wildcat, 20 points in 33 minutes, 8 of 14, hit 3 threes, had 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. Nikola Jokic played 39 minutes, scored just 16 points, but had 16 rebounds to go along with 8 assists.
They had, I think, Joker had 7 and Murray had 2 in the first half. It's the first time they've scored less than 10 points combined. Real quick, DK, Denver is the 5th most efficient offensive team this season. According to the official NBA.com stat line, they're the 5th most efficient offensive team. 16 turnovers and only 16 assists for that team. That team has been a machine offensively. If you watched any of the games on their way to the title last year, and just the way effortlessly they find open looks, Denver can't find anything right now against Minnesota.
Not at all. You know what we can find? We can find you your way home safely because we've got the best traffic reporter on the planet, and that is Cricket getting you home.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Some backups on westbound Ajo approaching Mission, westbound Valencia approaching and passing Campbell Avenue for more slowing, westbound Bilby approaching and passing Park Avenue for backups, eastbound I-10 some slowing as you approach the Ajo-Kino connection, westbound I-10 slowing approaching Valencia to west of Alvernon Way. 60 and clear overnight, sunny 88 tomorrow and 87 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by ExpressPros.com. If you're ready for a new job, let Express Employment Professionals help you. Express is already hiring for summer jobs in a variety of industries. Job seekers never pay a fee at Express. Go to ExpressPros.com to find your location. That's ExpressPros.com.
Here at O'Reilly Chevrolet, we just celebrated 100 years, and it's truck season. And if that truck you've been driving around feels 100 years old, you know where to come. So see us today.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
You want to protect her. You'll give anything to make sure nothing harms her. Every minute together makes unforgettable memories. Except that time you parked her under that tree and...
Oh, come on, man. Really?
Sorry, we'll never speak of it again. But remember who came to her rescue? Recon Auto Detailing. Arizona's premier auto detailing company comes directly to you. We'll make your masterpiece shine like it should, and with a monthly maintenance package, we'll keep it that way. Recon Auto Detailing. Online at recondetail.com.
As spring breathes new life into the world, imagine missing out on cherished activities like walking 18 holes of golf or enjoying quality time outside with your loved ones due to chronic foot, knee, hip, or back pain. The Good Feet Store's personalized arch supports can help you reclaim the life you love. Plus, they're HSA and FSA eligible, so investing in your well-being is a breeze. Schedule an appointment at goodfeet.com and step into spring pain-free. Or swing by your nearest store. Walk-ins are always welcome.
Fun for the crew, fun for the family, fun for everyone. Dave & Buster's is the place to be for all things fun. With hundreds of awesome games, massive screens showing every single game, and their incredible menu of top-notch food and drinks. There's no better place to eat, drink, play, and watch than Dave & Buster's. Make Wednesday the highlight of your week at Dave & Buster's by experiencing half-price games on Wednesdays. That's right, every arcade game, half price. Dave & Buster's at Tucson Marketplace, your Wednesday game day viewing spot.
Experiencing the Sonoran Desert's natural wonders comes easy at Rock & Kay. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. 6 model homes are now open to tour at Del Webb at Rock & Kay. Here, life is about more than just beautiful homes. It's about the experiences waiting outside your front door at this new 55-plus active adult neighborhood. LiveRockandK.com. Designed by nature, built for you. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Searching HVAC near here.
Right here, ma'am. How can we help?
Wow, nobody local? Huh.
Wait, what? We are an HVAC company literally in your neighborhood. Why is she not seeing us?
Just all the big chains. Well, it is what it is.
What in the... Can you not see us?
Nope, they can't see you. Because you're buried deep in the list of local HVAC providers. You are invisible online. Introducing Cumulus Boost. Get a boost, get found, get on the map. Learn more at cumulusboost.com.
Ready for a staycation? Hey guys, Taylor Swift here. We're ready. Are you? Keep listening for your chance to win one of 3 trips to see Taylor Swift on the Eras Tour this fall. Shake it off. You and your bestie with Round Trip Air, a hotel room for 2 nights, and 2 tickets to the hottest tour on the planet. I'm having a blast on my tour, and I want to fly you out to join me. Your next chance to text a nationwide keyword happens soon. Welcome to the Eras Tour.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Make sure your family is well taken care of with life insurance. Protect your phones, laptops, and more with electronic device insurance. And cover your furry friends with pet health insurance.
Free tickets to a U of A baseball game? That's what Clipper Automotive is giving you a chance to win. Clipper Automotive is now a proud partner of Arizona Athletics and would like to give you the opportunity to win a pair of tickets to a University of Arizona baseball game this season. All you need to do is stop by the shop on Thorndale Road and put your information in the Enter to Win box. Stop by to enter at Clipper Automotive. No purchase necessary. Clipper Automotive provides honest, reasonable, and stress-free automotive repair services and looks forward to servicing your vehicle.
Why does 1290 run this town?
It's simple. 1290 is the only radio station that can bring you Arizona football, men's basketball, and baseball. Scoreboard 1290.
This is the home of the Wildcats.
This is Wildcats Radio 1290. DK on the sports tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number, and you can interact with our show by downloading our app. In fact, why don't you text the word app to 520-848-1290. I will send you a link. Is there anything easier than that? I'll send you a link. You can download the app, and then you've got it to follow all of our great information that we have over there. All of our shows are located on the app. If you missed any of the program yesterday, you can see it or hear it there. You can interact with us by way of text on our app. You can interact with us by way of voice on our app. If you don't want to call up to the show, you can just record yourself talking about your favorite sports take. You can submit that on our app. In fact, it's on the front page right there. It's really easy. All you have to do is hit the part of the app on the front page that says record audio, gives you an audio button. You can record yourself talking, and then you just hit send, and we'll get it on this end. How about that? Real easy. You can also take a video of yourself talking about your favorite Arizona Wildcats players or topics. Record yourself on video, and then hit share media, and you can send it to us via that as well. So there's lots of different ways that you can interact with us on our app. So please do that. Text app to 520-848-1290, and I will send you a link so that you can download that. 520-848-1290 is the number to call us as well. Arizona softball is probably in the air right now as they're heading up to Stanford for the Pac-12 softball tournament, which begins on Thursday for the Cats. The actual event itself will begin tomorrow with the 8-9 game at the Pac-12 tournament, and then that's going to be Oregon State. They are the 8th seed. Arizona State is the 9 seed. Those two teams will play for the right to take on UCLA in the third game on Thursday. So there'll be 4 games on Thursday. This is a single elimination event. Third seed Oregon will play number 6 Utah. Number 2 Stanford will play number 7 California, so a rivalry game there. And then number 1 UCLA will play the winner of Oregon State and Arizona State. Those two teams will play tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. The final game of the day on Thursday will pit number 4 seed Washington against number 5 seed Arizona. Washington took 2 of 3 from the Wildcats here in Tucson when the two teams met during Pac-12 conference play. The winner, obviously, of the Arizona-Washington game will play the winner of UCLA and either Oregon State or Arizona State. The 2 semifinal games will be at 4:30 and 7:30 on Friday. The Pac-12 tournament championship game will be at 7 o'clock on Saturday and of course, we talked about this last week, J-Dub, the Boyd and Jill Smith Family Stadium at Stanford, because that's how they do it there.
Legacy, yeah. Got to have names on every building, DK.
Legacy
and for every position.
endowments. Everything is got a fancy person's name on it at the farm. Speaking of fancy people, Taylor Beal is a sophomore. She has played one heck of a shortstop for the Arizona Wildcats this season. Had a chance to catch up with Taylor Beal today. It's her second Pac-12 tournament that she's going to be playing in, her first as a starter, and she cannot wait to get going in Palo Alto.
I'm so ready for it. I'm excited. The second and final one, I guess. But it's exciting always to go play somewhere else for me, and especially it's kind of closer to home, so I'll have a lot of family from home, and just excited to compete with the girls.
How about Washington State right off the bat? What you're thinking?
Like Skaggs said, we were expecting Oregon, I think, but every single team in the pack is competitive, and we've also beat all of them, which is great this year. We've showed that we can beat them once, we can beat them twice, however many times it is. So I think it's just exciting if we play our best softball. We'll definitely have a great shot of beating them and then moving on and win the rest of it.
How do you think you improved since you've met them in the regular season? What do you think?
Oh, definitely. We were just talking about yesterday at practice, we're peaking at the right time. We're definitely on an upward slope right now. And so I think that if we play our best softball, like we said, we've definitely been improving defensively, hitting, pitching, every single category. And so I think that we have a great shot, and we're at a better place than we were when we played them originally.
Was Stanford a place you thought about going at all?
No, I honestly wanted to get away from home a little bit. I wanted to try a new place. Arizona is close to home. Still, it's nice where I can at least go back on a weekend if I needed to. I'm not going across country, but I definitely wanted to kind of get away a little bit. So not really. Honestly, Arizona was my dream school ever since I was younger too. So I kind of had my heart set on here in general.
How would you describe the way you've been able to defend at the shortstop position this year?
Just confidently. I love defense, so I would rather go field 100 ground balls out there like all day, any day, and so I just love defense. So definitely my confidence and just like loving fielding the ground ball and just the rhythm of it. Lap has really put me in a great spot to feel the rhythm and just be confident with myself. So I think confidence in having Skaggs over to my left right there and Blaze to my right just really makes me feel good about myself that I'm going to get every single ball.
How about that question? You talk about your teammates all working together. How do you feel about that? Because you all seem to be clicking.
Yes, when you have someone next to you, that just makes the game even more fun. It just is super making you like at peace a little bit more. So seeing those people next to you, knowing like if like I'm gonna get this ball, we're gonna work together. Like me, Blaze, and Dakota, like nothing drops on the left side. Like we're locked down over there. And then with Skaggs over there, like we're turning double plays. Like I'm always like, yeah, Skaggs got you. Like keeping this ball here, just knowing like that you have somebody that you can really rely on, like all around the field, and even scoop over at first base. Like we need her to make every single play, just about. So just understanding like the confidence and just the good energy and the good vibes that we have together just really makes some more joy in the game.
How nice was it to have the weekend off to kind of get ready for this tournament?
It was nice to let our bodies and our minds kind of relax a little bit and just kind of get ready and recover for the weekend and get us in a great spot to be able to go and kick some butt this weekend.
So what were you thinking about? Were you thinking about this tournament, or were you trying to just get out of the thought?
A little bit of both. I was trying to have some fun and just kind of be a regular person and kind of calm my mind a little bit to be able to be at my best this next weekend. But also I was thinking we were watching the softball games this weekend, and me and my roommate were just talking about it's kind of nice having a bye week and you can actually watch all the other teams for once, because normally we're always playing during it. And so it was nice we could watch the Pac-12 games, some of the SEC games, like whatever was on the channel. And so that was cool. We got to watch some softball games and then just kind of prepare for what we had next.
And your offense during Pac-12 has really come on. What's different for you?
I feel like I've been able to get in a groove. Like at the beginning of the season, I was kind of up and down, like getting pinch hit for a lot, like not really sure if I was even in the lineup. And so I think being able to get in a groove and like have that confidence of like I'm going to be out there, because like we don't really have too much depth this year. And so just understanding like I'm going to do this for my team and having really nothing to lose and just be confident in myself. And the coaches have done a great job of like ensuring that I'm in a good place, whether like mentally, physically, just making sure I'm in that good place to like be confident when I'm in the box and have nothing to lose.
What's different between, say, Kate's approach to offense and Bloomer's? How they talk to you and what they say to you?
Honestly, it's very similar. They both like want me to have an approach. I feel like Bloomer is very, very important on like don't be afraid to miss. So like just go out there and hit the ball as hard as you can. Like take that best swing, because if we're taking half swings and like just gonna try to put the ball in play, like the odds of the ball getting in play and you getting it hit is very less. Like he's just about catching barrels. So just like turning on that inside pitch. Like I would go up there and he's like, find an inside pitch and just turn on it. Just like hit it so hard as hard as you can. Put your best swing on it. But Kate is definitely the same way. She just wants me to have an approach out there and just do my best and don't give like a half swing and don't give at bats away is a big thing that she's with.
So compete.
Yes. Yes.
Commit to what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. Commit to that swing. If I see the ball and I think I'm going to drive out of the park, to really drive out of the park and not second guess myself at all. So just compete and be aggressive and trust my stuff.
Do you think swinging away has helped you more in that, like not deciding whether you're going to do short game or long game, or?
Yeah, I still definitely like kind of second guess myself sometimes, because I can bunt, I can stop, I can hit. So there are like 3 options, and if I maybe like choose the wrong one, I'm like, oh shoot, like maybe I should have like stopped instead or hit. But being confident in my hitting right now, because I feel like I'm seeing the ball best right now, is like in standing in the box and just swinging away. So I think that does help me a little bit go away from second guessing myself if I should stop or hit. And I've been doing well swinging away, so I think I'm just sticking with that and being confident that I'm just going to put a good barrel on the ball.
So what's the most fascinating thing you saw watching all this softball last weekend?
I love defense, so I just like love the defensive plays, whether that's like the double plays that people are making, and just on NCAA softball Instagram, I feel like I can always see those cool like double plays that people are making and diving catches. So I just love some defense. So anything defense related, I love it.
You know, with some of the seniors having so much postseason success and experience, is there any messages that they've given you in terms of just heading into the Pac-12 tournament?
Yeah, like this is my first postseason, because I know that like last year we unfortunately didn't make it, and so like we had the Pac-12 tournament, but we weren't really sure if we were going to make it. And this year now I think it's just rolling into that, so using the Pac-12 tournament to give us a chance to kind of keep the momentum rolling. But they just like say enjoy every moment of it and just compete out there, and like you got to win, so just like give your best shot at it really. So like I feel like it doesn't really go much further than have fun and give your best and just compete out there.
That's Taylor Beal, shortstop for your Arizona Wildcats. Offensively, the average is down this year. She had 295 as a freshman here in 49 games, hitting just 233 this year, but the power numbers are up. 6 home runs this year to none last year, and she's driven in 23 runs to just 13 a year ago. And again, her defense has been pretty stellar. Just 4 errors all season long in 177 chances. Not bad. 98% fielding percentage for Taylor Beal, who obviously is going to be the shortstop for the Arizona Wildcats for a number of years moving forward. Her and her team will play on Thursday again. It'll be in the evening against the Washington Huskies in a game that will be at 6:30. Now, we will not have broadcasts on any of the games this week at the Pac-12 tournament. No broadcasts in terms of the radio for the Pac-12 tournament. But if the Arizona Wildcats do advance to regionals, and we anticipate that they will, if there are games here in Tucson, if they host, we will have those games for you on the radio coming up next weekend. So keep it tuned here. Selection show will be this weekend, Sunday. Again, we'll be out, but we'll make sure that that information is readily available for you on our social media platforms, Twitter at Wildcats1290 and Facebook at Wildcats Radio 1290. So stay tuned for all of that as the Wildcats look to get back in the NCAA tournament after missing the tournament last year for the first time in 35 years. Don't have to worry about that this year. The question now is, will they host or will the Wildcats head out onto the road? We'll find out after this Pac-12 weekend comes to a conclusion. The final Pac-12 softball tournament, just the second, and it'll be the last one in this alliteration as the teams move on to different conferences. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. 520-848-1290. Did I tell you about the sweet deal I've got for you at St. Elizabeth Ann Seton Catholic School? How about a year's worth of tuition, which is normally $7,600? You can get it. I'm going to give it to you. I'm not going to give it to you. You got to pay for it, but you only have to pay $3,800 for that year's worth of tuition at St. Elizabeth Ann Seton Catholic School. It's a sweet deal right now. Head on over to WildcatsRadio1290.com. St. Elizabeth Ann Seton Catholic School up on the north side. Daily religion classes and a focus on moral, spiritual, and character development. The class sizes are a nice size. Only about 16 students per class. And these students consistently score well above the national average in 3 subjects: math, reading, and language. St. Elizabeth Ann Seton Catholic School, they've got daily enrichment classes including music, art, PE, technology. On the junior high level, you can get 3D design and printing and multiple disciplinary engineering and Latin. St. Elizabeth Ann Seton Catholic School voted the top middle school at the Southern Arizona Regional Science and Engineering Fair. It is a sweet deal. 1 year of tuition, normally $7,600, now just $3,800. Head on over to WildcatsRadio1290.com for this sweet deal. And before we get out of here tonight, I've got another keyword for you and a chance to win tickets to see Taylor Swift and the Eras Tour in New Orleans in October. It's DK on the sports tip. My Cavs are down by 12. Ugh. Cricket is here. J-Dub is here. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. With freeway slowdowns on westbound I-10 between Valencia and Irvington Palo Verde, westbound Valencia approaching and passing Campbell Avenue, backups more slowing, Ajo Way and Mission on westbound Ajo at Mission.
A 60 the low, clear skies, sunny 88 tomorrow and 87 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell's new Cravings Value Menu is a big deal, or rather, it's 10 big deals. From new items like the loaded nachos to familiar favorites like the spicy potato soft taco. Check it out at a participating Taco Bell today. Available for a limited time only while supplies last.
We return now to Eugene Snarkle, UberTube video star, and his best friend Doug.
Eugene, what happened to just buying a new set of tires at Jack Furrier's?
Way too easy, Doug.
Yes, Eugene. Jack Furrier's makes buying tires easy. So what's up with all the rubber cement and electrical tape? And why are you putting it all over your tires?
It's basic science, Doug. This Uber hack should give me another 6 months on these old treads and make me locally world famous on UberTubes.
So you'll be risking your life and your reputation.
Yes, Doug. It's all for my UberTube fans.
Well, could you at least wait a week before you try driving up Mount Lemon?
At Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, we make buying tires easy. Our local warehouse is filled with thousands of great options, all at one low price. If you need tires for your passenger car, truck, SUV, van, 4x4, RV, boat, or UTV, call us or go online to jackfurriers.com. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, we're here to get you there.
This is Jim Rome with your Rome Report. Well, one team in Denver definitely looked like potential NBA champions last night. The team just wasn't the reigning NBA champions who were on their own floor and desperately needed that game. Just like there was definitely a dude who looked like an MVP last night and who heard MVP chants in the arena, but it wasn't the reigning finals MVP playing on his home floor either. In fact, you could even say there were a couple of dudes playing like MVPs last night, and neither one of them were the Joker. They were both members of the T-Wolves, and the Wolves have made it very clear they're not just here to take part, they are here to take over. They're here to rip Alario. And as much praise as the Ant-Man is getting, he's not the only one out there. Don't worry, Cat. I see you, bro. I see you. I see Cat. I see Ant-Man, and I see an ascending team that just put itself in a dominant position to dethrone the champs and head to the Western Conference Finals.
O'Reilly.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Don't miss your chance to spring into deals at Lowe's. Right now, get 3 19.3-ounce vegetable and herbs Bonnie plants for $10. Plus, get 2 bags of Miracle-Gro organic raised bed soil for $15. Shop spring savings early this year, in-store and online today. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/15. Bonnie offer in-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii while supplies last.
The Wildcats play here. This is your home of Arizona Wildcats football, men's basketball, and baseball. This is the home of the Wildcats. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Honey, our yard's full of weeds. Looks like a jungle and the neighbors are complaining.
I know. I'm trying to get rid of them, but the product I'm using, it doesn't work.
Oh.
Not to mention, I don't have the time.
But it's not just weeds.
It's not?
No, I'm seeing ants.
Ants?
Yeah, and spiders.
Ooh, spiders.
I know, and I think I saw a scorpion.
No way.
Yes way, and there's a pack rat in our garage.
Ew. Okay, I'll call University Termite and Pest Control today. We'll get rid of all of them.
Okay, honey, thank you.
University Termite and Pest Control, locally owned. Find them online at bepestfree.com.
Attention Tucson. Remember, if it's game day and the Wildcats are taking the floor, you can count on 1290 to bring you all the play-by-play action, the biggest pre- and post-game show in the Pac-12. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
At Standard Restaurant Supply, their vision and #1 goal is to improve the lives of their customers and clients by providing a better culinary experience. Standard Restaurant Supply, if it's in a restaurant and not food, they have it. Open to the public, no membership fees, and they offer bulk store pricing without the bulk store purchase. Open Monday through Saturday at 601 South Cherry Avenue or call 885-2345. Standard Restaurant Supply is a proud sponsor of the U of A Radio Sports broadcast.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We are the sports station that Tucson turns to for all the latest news when it comes to Arizona men's basketball, along with all the play-by-play action. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
From the what? Central Northwest Tucson, duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names, David Scott Kelly.
Taking you all the way up to Arizona Wildcats baseball tonight. Wildcats and the Arizona State Sun Devils. First pitch at 6:35. You'll hear it right here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Brian Jeffries on the call. We will have him begin his part of the show at 6:20 tonight. So we got you for an extra 20 minutes this evening as we get you ready for baseball night in Arizona. Big game of the Territorial Cup Series. Arizona State currently leads the Territorial Cup Series by a score of 10 to 9.5. First team to 11.5 wins. If the Sun Devils win tonight, it'll be 10.5 to 9.5, which means all they'll need to do is win one of the 2 track points, either men's track and field or women's track and field this weekend in Colorado at Boulder, to wrap up this year's Territorial Cup Series championship. The Wildcats, the defending champs, after winning last year. It has gone back and forth throughout the years since they started keeping track of this. Way back in around, I think this is the 15th year of the Territorial Cup Series. They started right around 2010 back in the day. So the Wildcats trying to keep the trophy. And it is a very nice trophy if you've never seen it. Keep the trophy down here in southern Arizona. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Our question of the day: what is going to be your preferred flavor of gin and juice by Dre and Snoop? Is it going to be apricot, citrus, melon, or passion fruit? I voted for passion fruit just because I don't really like any of those other flavors. Right now,
Who
it
doesn't
is
like citrus.
Yeah, I don't know. Citrus can be a number of different things.
It's broad.
Yeah.
It's a
very
broad. Citrus is a broad term. Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
It can be a number of different type of juices. How about this, J-Dub? Right now, I remember I told you it was tight. It is all tied up. All tied up. 33% across the board for apricot, citrus, and passion fruit.
And melon has 0 still?
Melon has 0. Nobody has voted for melon. Are there any melon voters out there? Anyone? Anyone at all?
I gotta say, I really like melon in general, but melon alcohol is not a combination I usually go for. I don't. But I mean, we already had this conversation. I'm not a big sweet alcohol person when it comes to choices I make with drinking hard alcohols. I don't generally go for really over the top sweet stuff.
Very interesting. Very interesting. I'm very surprised melon doesn't have any votes whatsoever. That's curious to me. But you can go vote. Wildcats Radio 1290 is the place to go. Or Wildcats 1290, I should say, on Twitter, and vote in our poll right now. Or you can go to Facebook. You can't vote over there, but you can at least have a comment or two if you've had it. Has anybody had this yet? I've not had it, but I'm going to go out and buy it when I get back from Ohio for sure and test it out myself. But I've not had it. Have you had it? If you've had it, We want to hear from you as well today. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. If you've sampled the gin and juice by Dre and Snoop, what does it taste like? That's what I want to know. What it tastes like. Is it any good? Are they going to win with this? This brand of alcohol that they are promoting and is now the sponsor of our bowl game here in Southern Arizona. All right, we were talking about the Timberwolves, who are up 2-0 heading back home against the world champion Denver Nuggets. The other game last night had a bunch of interesting shenanigans.
Yeah.
Did you see the flop at the end by DiVincenzo?
Yeah, I saw the whole thing. I watched both those games. It's tough because the Knicks are a very physical team, and the Pacers matched the physicality, and the refs did their best. I think it was about 12, 14 seconds to go, and Miles Turner set a screen for Tyrese Halliburton, and he moves moving slightly towards the end of it. DiVincenzo exaggerated it. That's the flop you're talking about. I generally have a problem with that call at the end of games. I like the players to decide, but I don't know. They actually reviewed it. So Indiana challenged that call, and they upheld the call on the court. So it was moving screen. I'm okay with that, DK. What I'm not okay with is 2 or 3 possessions earlier, DiVincenzo put both of his hands and grabbed a screener, engaged a 2-second count, grabbed the screener. It was a much more egregious offensive moving screen, and he wasn't called for that play. I just want consistency. I don't really, if you're going to call, that's not a call you see very often, let alone the last 10 seconds of an NBA playoff game. Generally, the refs will swallow their whistles there. It's okay. I mean, if that's what they're going to call, that's fine. But just don't call that and then have a very similar play on the other side not be called a couple of possessions earlier.
Tom Thibodeau, the head coach of the Knicks, says the fourth quarter stops were key to the win.
They got out and transitioned some. We're going to have to do a lot better than we did tonight. The big thing was, I thought the fourth quarter we made some hustle plays and then made some big shots that came off those hustle plays. And so I thought OG triggered some things from the weak side. That was huge. The ball pressure, Dante was great effort on the defensive end the whole night and a big three. But just finding a way to win at the end, and obviously there's a lot for us to work on and clean up.
How do you talk about doing the little things, and Dante with 5 fouls to draw that charge there in the final seconds, just kind of like...
Yeah, and just the bottom line is just whatever we have to do at the end, find a way to win. And so whether it's taking a charge, diving on the floor, coming up with a loose ball, getting a deflection, getting a block shot, then pushing it up the floor. And obviously it was a choppy game for us, so we got to clean things up.
22 points in this game for TJ McConnell, Arizona men's basketball class of 2014. 18 points in 22 minutes on 9 of 16 from the floor. TJ continues to play extremely well in the postseason. He dished out 3 assists and had 3 steals. He's scoring more than he's dishing the ball out, J-Dub.
Yeah, assists are hard to come by this time of year. TJ, I think TJ's been playing great for about 3.5, 4 years now, 5 years. I think he's super dependable. What he brings out there. The issue with the Pacers is not their backup, DK. The issue with the Pacers right now is their actual starting point guard, who's going to be all NBA. I mean, he led the NBA in assists this year by a lot. Tyrese Halliburton, only 2 for 6 last night. That's a guy who averages 16 field goal attempts a game, 15 field goal attempts a game this season. So super uncharacteristically non-aggressive Tyrese Halliburton, and that's the reason why the Pacers let that game slip. They had the lead. They were outscored by 9 points there in the fourth quarter, losing by 4. So they had a 5-point lead going into the fourth.
On the other side of aggression, there's Jalen Brunson and his Villanova mates. Jalen Brunson, 14 of 26. So Tyrese took 6 shots.
Right.
Brunson took 26 shots.
I mean, Brunson, if you look at Brunson's numbers, it's really funny because as a rookie, okay, he averaged about 9 points at Dallas. on 7 field goal attempts a game, 47% from the field. Guess what? Now here he's in his 7th year. He's averaging 29 points per game. Same efficiency, 47% from the field. So it's literally what you just said. 22 attempts per game is his average on the season. Did you hear the stat? First player since Michael Jordan to score 40 or more in 4 consecutive playoff games.
Wow.
So, yeah, Jalen Brunson, Luka is really still mad that he is no longer in Dallas 2 years later.
I would imagine. And then his buddies, Josh Hart and Dante DiVincenzo, say that 10 times fast.
92 points is what those 3 guys scored last night. 3 teammates who won a national championship, the Villanova Wildcats, 92 points is what they combined to score last night, those 3 college teammates.
That's insane.
Crazy.
Yeah,
I didn't see it stated that that's a record for college teammates in an NBA playoff game, but come on. It has to be. That has to be the most points ever scored by 3 players who played college basketball together on the same team.
Josh Hart says they were active, and that led to the 121-117 win.
Outscore the Pacers 17-8 down the stretch. What was the difference late?
We were really active. We were able to get into our sets. We made a couple of tough shots. Made a couple of good defensive rotation, defensive plays. It wasn't a good win for us, but a win's a win. And like I said, we're always rather learn on a win than a loss.
Coach was talking about that you guys didn't play your best, but how good does it feel to have to make those adjustments after a win?
Good, for sure. You're going to take the win every single time, so you got to give them credit. They shot the ball well, they attacked the basket, they played fast, but we can't give up 115 or 120 or whatever it was. Our defense has to be better, and we're going to watch the film and try to fix it.
Josh, what about the ferocity and the overall effort that you guys showed, especially down the stretch?
For sure. I mean, that's huge. That's something that we need, something that we build, that we're built on as part of our foundation. So it's something that we got to do for 48 minutes, and I think we did that.
All right, that was Josh Hart, who had 24 points, 9 of 13, 13 rebounds, 8 assists in the ball game. But I want to go back to the phantom foul there, the flop by Dante DiVincenzo, and the reaction from Indiana coach Rick Carlisle to that.
The boards were a big problem in the second half. Fouls were a problem in the second half. And, you allow a team to score with the clock stopped and don't do a good job with possession. And we had turnovers as well. So those are 3 pretty big factors. That said, we did a lot of good things throughout the game, but this is one we're going to have to learn from.
What was your vantage point on the big screen by Miles? Did you think it was clean?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about the officiating. We're not expecting to get calls in here. It'd be nice if they laid off that one, but they didn't. So, that's just the way it goes. I mean, we challenged it, they reviewed it, they got a bunch of people in New Jersey that agreed with them, so that's just the way it goes. So, we got to learn from that too. That's a timing play. Both guys are involved, so we'll have to execute that better next time.
That's Rick Carlisle. You're not getting any calls at MSG if you're the Pacers. I mean, they still remember all those series from the 90s.
Speaking of which, do you know who's going to be broadcasting Game 2 from MSG?
Reggie Miller.
Other than Reggie Miller.
Yeah.
So that should be a fun time. I think Rick Carlisle, he's been a coach. I mean, obviously everybody knows he played with those great Celtics teams in the 80s is when I remember him from. But he's been a coach since 1989, assistant for several years, and then he's been a head coach since 2001. So I think Rick Carlisle knows a little bit about what buildings he may not get calls in, DK.
Yeah.
Speaking from experience.
Right. All right. A lot going on the high school scene. We are in state championship week. We've had the state track and field championships for this past week. We're going to dive into some of that with our guy, Andy Morales, from All Sports Tucson. That's next. It's DK on the Sports Tip. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Collision at Valencia and Benson Highway in Valencia. Backups westbound Valencia backed up Park Avenue to beyond Campbell. More slowing westbound Ajo at Mission. 60 the low with clear skies, sunny 88 tomorrow and 87 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know there's a better way to do things, like bundling your home and auto insurance with Allstate. Why make things harder than they need to be? There's a better way to save time and money. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today.
Not all sports stations are built the same way. 1290 has Wildcats football, men's basketball, and baseball, plus the NFL and the Super Bowl. Tucson trusts 1290. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Southern Arizona Radiology Associates have been dedicated to providing superior images and quality care for the last 35 years. They're the one you trust when you need an X-ray, CT scan, ultrasound, mammogram, or MRI. They have locations in Tucson, Green Valley, and Sierra Vista. Ask your doctor to refer you to Southern Arizona Radiology Associates today. That's Southern Arizona Radiology Associates. Visit their website at sararadiology.com or call 520-335-6849 for more information.
I've always gotten tons of UTIs. Cranberry products never worked for me, and I was desperate for a way to be proactive. I'm Jenna Ryan, CEO and founder of Eucora. We've worked with doctors to develop effective urinary tract health products. Just mix a packet of Eucora with water and drink it when you need support, like right after intimacy. Eucora is helping over 100,000 women stay healthy. Ready to join them? Get 30% off at eucora.com/radio. That's UQORA.com/radio.
Wildcat fans, Taco Bell is a proud partner of Arizona Athletics and is ready to serve you. We're open for breakfast. Fire up your mornings with breakfast at Taco Bell. You've heard about Happy Hour? Well, try Happier Hour at your local Taco Bell for $1 beverages. From 2 p.m. to 5 p.m., choose any regular freezes or medium drink for $1. It's the happiest time of the day. Taco Bell is locally owned and operated and is looking forward to serving Wildcat fans. Stay safe, bear down, and live Mas.
Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Now.
Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Now.
Hey guys, what are you... Gotta take this. Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Now.
Thank you for... Uh-huh. Right. You don't say. Uh-huh. Now.
Hold it. What's with all the nows?
People want to know the best time for an elastification.
And you're telling them...
Hello? Now.
Well, there's no bad time for elastification, but the best time is now.
Pretty soon, Arizona temps are going to put a strain on your AC.
Now is really the best time.
You're not telling people about all the money they save?
Now.
Or how Alaskan AC will make their AC last longer?
Now.
Or the big 1-year guarantee that their AC will not break down?
Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Well, Ron wants to tell you a bunch of stuff. I know. That's kind of what I told him. Okay, thanks. Oh, by the way, now.
The best time for elastification is...
now.
Schedule at AlaskanAC.com. Now.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. In the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. The ugly truth is when you buy a timeshare, you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is, this never ends. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
Wildcats fans from coast to coast can bring a little bit of Tucson to themselves wherever they happen to be by streaming 1290 on our website at wildcatsradio1290.com. The home of the Wildcats is everywhere. This is Wildcats Radio 1290. DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We've got you for about another hour as we take you up to Arizona Wildcats baseball tonight against the Sun Devils up in Tempe. Lots still in store for you. We're going to give you the keyword for Taylor Swift coming up here. Taylor Swift tickets to see the Eras Tour. But first, we're going to talk some high school sports. It is state championship week in terms of the diamond, and there's a lot happening as well. We've wrapped up things on the tennis side and the track side. No one covers it better than the folks over at All Sports Tucson, and we're pleased to be joined by Andy Morales. And now, Andy, you are in Phoenix, I would imagine. Are you covering softball or volleyball tonight? What's the sport or all?
Yeah. Right now I'm in Levine at the Gila Golf Course watching the small school golf. Push Ridge is right now in 9th place. There's only one group left out there.
Wow, so we've got small school golf happening as well this week. You are all over the place. So is it just Push Ridge in that particular event?
Well, Wilcox qualified and then a couple of other individuals. I think a girl from Benson and then James Lucas from Gregory School.
Outstanding. Well, let's start with obviously softball because that is such a huge sport down here in southern Arizona, and we've got some teams that are still left. We'll start in 5A with Cienega in the losers bracket, but still with a chance to qualify back through. The other thing I want to get into is in 3A with Empire in the championship game this year. It's so funny because it seems like over the course of the last few years that Empire has always been stifled by Sabino. I mean, how many times have those two teams met in the postseason in the last few years? And the SaberCats always seem to knock the Ravens out of a shot of going deep, but Sabino did not have as strong a team this year, and the Ravens have found themselves in the championship game.
Yeah, Shannon's been a long-time coach, and he has them back, and they're all juniors, so they're going to be back next year. So, yeah, they have a time hasn't been set yet because if CDO or South Point make it, they're going to be playing Tucson, but they're both right now scheduled for ASU Stadium.
Yeah,
the championship day, May 11th, yeah.
Absolutely. The Ravens are going to take on Valley Christian. That is scheduled for Saturday. You mentioned, obviously, in 4A, it's always seems to come down to South Point Catholic having a chance. They have rolled through their side of the bracket. What's been the story this year with this particular Lancer Ball Club?
Well, CDO has beaten them 3 times this year. So
wow.
That, 4 times is difficult, and especially everything on the line. And but they have to get past their semifinals. They have to get beaten twice because they're undefeated. It's the same as the baseball and World Series and the softball World Series, college World Series. You have to be knocked out twice. So, but they have a good shot. They have a good shot to meet each other at hopefully the stadium.
Well, one of the teams that could be standing in their way, and I know you said you were at golf. I don't know if you're getting over to Papagato tonight. Micah Mountain will take on Arcadia in a game that starts in about an hour. I guess it's no surprise, Andy, that Micah Mountain has built their athletic programs so quickly to where we've seen it. Obviously, their girls basketball program made the postseason this year. Their boys were obviously had a chance to play deep on the football side. They've been able to build those programs pretty quickly over there at Southern Arizona's newest high school.
Yeah, I mean, even wrestling, it's just incredible. I mean, that's what happens when you have former championship coaches as your administrators. So it's and they went all out, and they went out and got coaches that win. I mean, they got coaches from Sabino, Cienega, the surrounding areas, and they're ready.
We're joined by Andy Morales from All Sports Tucson, covers all things high school athletics. We were talking a little bit about 5A. You've got Cienega that is still alive there, and then in I believe is 6A, Tucson also playing tonight against Pinnacle. Pinnacle was the team that knocked them into the losers bracket in the first round, but the Badgers have come back strong to win 3 straight games, including a couple of tough one-run games, knocking out number 2 seed Basha over the weekend. That was a huge win for the Badgers.
Yeah, both Tucson High and Sandy are playing teams that knocked them into the elimination bracket. So it's, they have to regroup and put those games in the rearview mirror and just keep playing. 6A is so difficult, dominated by Phoenix area, just like 4A is dominated by Tucson. But you're right, it can be done.
I'm just seeing a note from the longtime columnist from the Arizona Daily Star, Greg Hansen, today, that the ultra successful tennis coach at Catalina Foothills is retiring. We've gotten the tennis part of the season is over, and Catalina Foothills obviously has always been a school that has been incredible in that respect. Jeffrey Bloomberg, 7 state titles in 8 years. I can't imagine there's anybody on the tennis side here in Southern Arizona that's been able to match that record.
No, not recently on the boys' side, but Kirsty Stevens on the girls. Yeah, they had a very difficult loss this year. They had this incredible 180 match streak. So yeah, he's one of the best. But he also had some of the best players ever.
Yeah, who are some of those kids that have come through that program that have been so great for them?
Well, Perry, he's had a couple of U of A players, and this year we have the Cohens who are playing, I believe, Pepperdine. So they're all D1 players. Obviously, if you're this age and still playing high school, you're not a pro. But yeah, he's had some of the best.
Indeed he has, and we wish him the best of luck. Jeffrey Bloomberg retiring 132-2 as the head boys tennis coach at Catalina Foothills. That's a pretty impressive record for sure. What hole are you on right now, Andy? Sounds a little windy out there.
18th.
18th hole?
Yeah, final group.
Outstanding. Well, we'll let you get back out at it, Andy. We appreciate you taking a few moments to join us and update us on what's happening on the softball and golf sides. I know you're looking forward to a little bit of a break, but not too much, because you'll dive right into Little League once this high school season is over.
Yeah, that's true. It's probably one of the favorite parts of the time for me, parts of the year.
There you go. Follow them, Andy and his brother Javier. All Sports Tucson, with the best coverage of youth athletics and high school athletics here in Southern Arizona. Andy, appreciate you. We'll talk to you again soon.
All right, thanks. Take care.
Andy Morales from All Sports Tucson. I mean, that guy does it all. Out on the golf course. See, we had small school golf going on. I did not even know that we played small school golf.
So let me get this straight.
In the spring.
Was it Idaho or Montana doesn't have baseball at all?
Wyoming.
Yeah,
it said
it was one of those
Reeves.
states up there.
Yeah.
So Wyoming doesn't have any baseball and small school golf. There's it's just the warm weather stuff, DK, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So good luck to Push Rich Christian Academy out there this week. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. 520-848-1290.
In a different world, I would have gone to Foothills, and I would have played tennis for them for sure.
Okay.
That school opened 2 years after I graduated high school.
Right.
But it's like a mile and a half from my dad's house, where I grew up. So, there was no high school. That's how I wound up at Greenfields, more or less, because there was no high school on that side of town at the time. But amazing. 132-2.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's insane, actually. And just to kind of look at the girls, he was talking about Catalina Foothills girls tennis team this year. They play in Division II, and they fell this year in the, let me see, I just had it here, in the, actually, they lost in the first round to Notre Dame Prep this year. They were the 8th seed, and they fell 5-2. Canyon del Oro lost in the semifinals on the girls' side. So a couple of teams had an opportunity to go deep there for Southern Arizona in girls tennis, but came up just a little bit short on the team side. We'll talk to Andy's brother Javier tomorrow and get an update on the boys' baseball side of things as we get ready for those. You've still got talking about Canyon del Oro. South Point, unfortunately, was knocked out over the weekend as they had beaten Flagstaff early in the baseball tournament, but Flagstaff came up against them in an elimination game, and the Flagstaff kids got the best of South Point Catholic, so the Lancers are out of it. But again, Canyon del Oro is still in it, and shout out to the Empire girls who are going to play for the Conference 3A state championship, because that is a team that has been very good for a number of years, but as I mentioned, just seemed to every year come up against Sabino, and Sabino has had some teams of late, but the Ravens are going to get their shot in the state championship game at Farrington Stadium on Saturday against number 1 seed Valley Christian. They knocked off Tanca Verde over the weekend over at Amphi 6-0 to clinch that berth in the state championship game. All right, got another sweet deal for you. How about Nana's Kitchen? This one goes on sale Friday, 8:30 a.m. over at WildcatsRadio1290.com. I've got a sweet deal. The Nana's Kitchen, $50 gift certificate for just $25. Authentic Sonoran cuisine, award-winning cocktails. Nana's Kitchen also has a private selection of spirits and beers. They're located just north of Cortero off Arizona Pavilions Drive. Nana's Kitchen is the place to be. They've got the Reposado shots with Hadula up there, 805 Cerveza pints, bottles of Corona, Corona Light, Dos Equis, Pacifico, Modelo, Corazon margaritas. They've got it all at Nana's Kitchen. So head on over to our website Friday morning at 8:30 for a sweet deal, a $50 gift certificate for just $25, courtesy of Wildcats Radio 1290.com. All right. What are my Cavs doing? They're down by 11 still, so they're kind of hanging, but they're not falling down big like they did in the Orlando series. But
they're being very consistent because all the games they've played in the playoffs so far this year have been blowouts except for one.
Right.
So expect them to win by 15 in the next game.
Wow, I don't know about that, man. If they can get
tough.
They can get one of these games in Boston, man. It's going to be a party this weekend in Cleveland.
Yeah, Celtics are tough, and Cavs are a little banged up. So
yeah, still no Jared Allen.
That's a big piece. I mean,
Yeah.
Jared Allen is one of the 3 best defensive centers in the NBA.
But
so,
Evan Mobley has been playing his butt off defensively, man.
But
that kid is really impressive at the defensive end of the floor.
There's no doubt. He's also, 23?
Yeah.
22 or 23. This is his first real go-around in the playoffs. It's tough having all that pressure to be able to force to defend all the bigs on that side. Without Allen in there, I mean, I think the Cavs had a much better – Allen's out for an extended period, correct?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound like he's going to play anytime in the near future. Like, I wouldn't this week.
Right.
Like, could he come back later in this series? Possibly, but it didn't sound like he was going to play
Ribs,
this week.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always wonder, though, if Evan Mobley's going to get any bigger. He's still kind of skinny to me.
He could I could see him putting on 20 pounds before before he gets to his prime. He's got so many skills. 22 years old. So he's so skilled.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I could see him putting a little bit more weight on, no doubt.
All right. We don't want you to put any weight on your car repairs. We want to make sure your car gets home safely, and Cricket does that better than anyone else.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. With a collision clearing that occurred Valencia and Benson Highway in Valencia. Backups on westbound I-10 as you approach Ruthroff. Westbound Valencia, backed up as you approach Park Avenue. More slowing on westbound Ajo Way at Mission. A 60 as the low with clear skies, 88 sunny tomorrow and 87 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Juicy Juice. No matter what the day brings, count on Juicy Juice for the good stuff. Give kids the nutrients of real 100% fruit juice to help them conquer the day with no sugar added and no artificial sweeteners. Find Juicy Juice at your favorite local grocery retailer. Info at juicyjuice.com.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month, but you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio.
Sponsored by Age of Learning.
Wildcat fans, Taco Bell is a proud partner of Arizona Athletics and is ready to serve you. We're open for breakfast. Fire up your mornings with breakfast at Taco Bell. You've heard about happy hour? Well, try Happier Hour at your local Taco Bell for $1 beverages. From 2 p.m. to 5 p.m., choose any regular freezes or medium drink for $1. It's the happiest time of the day. Taco Bell is locally owned and operated and is looking forward to serving Wildcat fans. Stay safe, bear down, and live Mas.
Honey, our yard's full of weeds. Looks like a jungle and the neighbors are complaining.
I know. I'm trying to get rid of them, but the product I'm using, it doesn't work.
Oh.
Not to mention, I don't have the time.
But it's not just weeds.
It's not?
No, I'm seeing ants.
Ants?
Yeah, and spiders.
Ooh, spiders.
I know, and I think I saw a scorpion.
No way.
Yes way, and there's a pack rat in our garage.
Ew. Okay, I'll call University Termite and Pest Control today. We'll get rid of all of them.
Okay, honey, thank you.
University Termite and Pest Control, locally owned. Find them online at bepestfree.com.
Ready for a staycation?
Hey guys, Taylor Swift here. We're ready. Are you?
Keep listening for your chance to win one of 3 trips to see Taylor Swift on the Eras Tour this fall.
Shake it out.
You and your bestie with Round Trip Air, a hotel room for 2 nights, and 2 tickets to the hottest tour on the planet.
I'm having a blast on my tour, and I want to fly you out to join me.
Your next chance to text a nationwide keyword happens soon.
Welcome to the Eras Tour.
Celebrate Cinco de Mayo from May 4th through the 11th at Nana's Kitchen, where everyone is treated like family. Located just north of Cortero off Arizona Pavilions Drive. Enjoy authentic Sonoran cuisine and award-winning cocktails. Nana's Kitchen also has a private selection of spirits and beer. As part of their Cinco de Mayo celebration, enjoy $5 Reposado shots with Herradura, along with $5 805 Cerveza pints, 2 for $5 bottles of Corona, Corona Light, Dos Equis, Pacifico, Modelo, and $5 Corazon Margaritas. Life is always good with some CNS. You know, chips and salsa. You can never go wrong with their tacos, chimichangas, or burritos. Make that burrito enchilada style. Why not? Nana's Kitchen is always serving up amazing Mexican food, made with love, straight from Nana's heart. That's Nana's Kitchen. See you soon.
And this Friday, we have a sweet deal for you from Nana's Kitchen. You can get a $50 gift certificate for just $25. And this sweet deal will go on sale this Friday morning at 8:30 at WildcatsRadio1290.com.
Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Now.
Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Now.
Hey guys, what are you...
Gotta take this. Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Now.
Thank you for... Uh-huh. Right. You don't say. Uh-huh. Now.
Hold it. What's with all the nows?
People want to know the best time for an Alaskification.
And you're telling them...
Hello? Now.
Well, there's no bad time for an Alaskification, but the best time is now.
Pretty soon, Arizona temps are going to put a strain on your AC.
Now is really the best time.
You're not telling people about all the money they save?
Now.
Or how Alaskan AC will make their AC last longer?
Now.
Or the big 1-year guarantee that their AC will not break down?
Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Well, Ron wants to tell you a bunch of stuff. I know. That's kind of what I told him. Okay, thanks. Oh, by the way, now.
The best time for an Alaskification is...
now.
Schedule at AlaskanAC.com. Now.
Westwood One presents Today in Women's Sports, sponsored by Kohl's. We'd like to salute soccer star Kelly O'Hara, who will retire at the end of this NWSL season. O'Hara has been one of the best defenders in the world during her career, winning 2 World Cup championships with the U.S. women's national team. O'Hara played her college career at Stanford, and in 2009, she won the Hermann Trophy, which is given to the best player in the country. She won 2 championships during her NWSL career, including last year with her current team, Gotham FC. Another title in her last season would be the perfect send-off for this decorated defender.
I just want to say thank you to every single person who has cheered me on and supported me through the years. I've been playing soccer since I was 4 years old, and it's been an absolute joy. But as they say, don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. And I know there will be a lot of tears by me and probably some of y'all, but I hope there's more smiles.
With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Amber Theo Harris on Westwood One.
PSA for anyone who's not the best at remembering dates. Mother's Day is May 12th. Luckily, finding something she'll love is easy. Just go to Kohl's. I got a Sephora fragrance set for $35. Then with the extra 20% off, I scored cute PJs for just $19.99 and jewelry for under $30. Plus, I earned Kohl's Cash and found even more great prices across the store. Yep, it doesn't get better than Kohl's. Select styles. Offers end May 12th. Coupons and Kohl's Cash do not apply to Sephora. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Some people just know the more you protect, the more you save with Allstate. Because they know insurance math. Like if you protect your home and auto, Allstate can save you up to 25%. So it's like losing money if you don't bundle. Save more when you protect more. Bundle home and auto with Allstate today.
Bundled savings vary by state and are not available in every state. Saving up to 25% is the countrywide average of the maximum available savings off the home policy. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Taylor Swift.
It's not too late for you to experience the Eras.
Taylor brings the tour back to the U.S. this fall.
And we put you in the running to see her in style. Win one of 3 trips to see Taylor Swift, including round-trip air,
2 nights hotel,
$500 spending cash, and 2 of the hottest tickets on the planet.
Welcome to the Eras Tour.
All right, it's your time now to text a keyword for a chance to win tickets to see Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour. Final week of our contest here. We've been doing this now. This is week 5 of the Taylor Swift. Over 1,700,000 entries across the nation for this chance to win these 3 trips. 1 we already gave away. 2 more still to give away. So you are going to put this number into your phone right now, 95819, 95819, and I'm going to give you your keyword, and that keyword is lavender. 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 Text lavender right now to 95819. It is the grand prize, Taylor Swift Eras Tour. Round trip airfare for 2, 2 nights hotel stay in New Orleans, 2 tickets to see the show, $500 in cash to spend. Text lavender right now to 95819. There'll be 4 more keywords tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, and 4 more keywords on Friday. But that's it. If you don't get in now, you're not going to have a chance to win one of these trips to see Taylor Swift and the Eras Tour, courtesy of Wildcats Radio 1290.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Call us at that number if you want to dive in on any of the things that we have discussed today. Arizona baseball playing the Territorial Cup Series game tonight up in Tempe, the 4th meeting. Wildcats need to win to at least have a chance to split the Territorial Cup Series point. So if they win tonight and they don't play any more after tonight, the Wildcats would split the point. It would be 10-10 heading into the weekend. And that is the Pac-12 Track and Field Championships, where 2 more points will be decided. Again, though, if it ends 11-11, then the Wildcats probably are not going to win, because they have, right now, they are almost 35 spots behind the Sun Devils in the Directors' Cup standings. The Directors' Cup, the ASU Sun Devils are 29th. The Wildcats are 66th. But again, Arizona has generally had strong spring sports, and this year is no different. They're going to qualify at the NCAA level likely in 8 of those 9. The only one I'm not sure about is women's track. We'll see who they get through, if they can get somebody through to the NCAAs in women's track. But they should qualify and score in both men's and women's track at the NCAA level. That would give them 8 of 9. Your men's tennis team went to the Sweet 16. That's going to be big points. You need your baseball and your softball teams to get out of regionals. That would be big points. So there's points to be made up in the Directors' Cup for Arizona. But they need some teams to go deep. You need your women's golf team. In fact, totally forgot about that. Women's golf playing the second round of the NCAA regionals today in Las Vegas. We will update you on that before we get out of here today. The Wildcats, after round 1, were in 6th place, tied for 6th. They need to finish top 5 in this 3-round event in order to move on. Let's see where they are right now. Arizona is now in 7th after 2 rounds. So they shot 1 under today. But again, Arkansas, 8 under yesterday, 8 under today. Arkansas has been killing it. They're at minus 16. So right now, Arizona is 3 shots. 3 shots off a qualifying position heading into the final round. They were the number 2 seed, I believe, at this event. Possibly I have to check that, number 2 or number 3. But right now they're sitting in 7th. So they've got some work to do on Wednesday if they want to qualify through. +5 is the number right now, and +2 is where Baylor is sitting with a chance to get to California and the NCAA championships. Individually, Charlotte Back for Arizona, she had a big day today. She had a 69. So she was 3 under for the day. She's 2 under for the tournament. She's right now Arizona's top individual, and she is tied for 10th. The leader is at minus 10 right now. So Charlotte Back 8 shots off the lead on the individual side for the Arizona Wildcats. Work to do tomorrow in Las Vegas, and I don't mean in the casinos. Arizona trying to qualify their women. That would be big. Again, the farther you can get, the more points you're going to get in that Directors' Cup. You need to get through to the NCAA championships, both the men and the women. That would be big. If they could do that, and again, regional championships for baseball and softball, then you're talking about something in terms of maybe being able to climb back in to that top 40. All right, last week, you're going to say something, Jada?
I was going to say, have you ever been fined $100,000 for throwing a towel?
Is that what they fined Jamal Murray?
Yeah, just came down. He got a $100,000 fine. He's not going to be suspended, though.
I saw that, but I wasn't exactly sure. I guess I wasn't really looking at it closely, but I saw it. Something was in the air. Did it actually go onto the court,
though? There was a box out situation, and something came flying in off of the sideline. I didn't see the actual video from the other angle because it was a baseline shot on the broadcast. But yeah, people are saying Jamal Murray's the one who threw it. The problem, DK, is it was in the middle of the game play on that side of the court. So there was definitely, and it was thrown at the feet of the players. Apparently he was trying to, word is on the street that he was trying to throw it at a ref. Okay, which, number one, not a good look to begin with. That's not a good excuse. But the object did get into the playing surface, and, that's a real issue with injuries concerns, especially in basketball where, stepping on an ankle is enough to put a guy out for a couple of months. $100,000 fine for, what's that, 2-second decision?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peyton Pritchard hitting half-court threes at the buzzer to end the third quarter. That's never a good thing.
We never liked Peyton Pritchard.
No.
I admire the hell out of Peyton Pritchard. I could never, he's just so damn good. And because he played for the Ducks, and now he's playing for the Celtics. So if he was playing for a small market team, whatever, I might come around, but no. can't root actively for that gentleman.
92-77.
Celtics are good.
Lead the Cavaliers by 15. These two teams combined to score 74 points in the first quarter and 34 points in the second quarter. How does that work in the NBA? 74 in the first quarter, 34 points in the second quarter. Hey, last week had a chance to get out to a great event over at Gentle Ben's. Every year, Brian Peabody, the head coach of the Pima Aztecs men's basketball team, puts together the Dick McConnell Award. Dick McConnell was the longtime basketball coach at Saguaro High School. Peabody played for him, was on his staff. I mean, probably every coach here in town probably at some point had some connection to Dick McConnell. Then his name is, the gymnasium has his name, McConnell Gymnasium over there. And the local high school coaches all vote. They all get a ballot, and they all vote on their coach of the year. And there were two winners this year. Jim Henry from Saguaro High School, ironically. His team got to the state championship game. And Craig Everson from the Gregory School. Used to be St. Gregory, now it's the Gregory School. And Gregory won the Conference 1A championship this past year. Had a chance to catch up with all three of those guys. I want you to hear here before the top of the hour, and we'll get to the other ones tomorrow. But I want you to hear from Jim Henry on winning the Dick McConnell Co-Coach of the Year award, a coach who had a very huge impact on his life. He assisted under Dick McConnell for a number of years before taking over the program at Saguaro.
Man, this has to really mean a lot to you because obviously Dick McConnell, longtime coach at Saguaro High School, to have this honor is just really an impressive thing for your mantle, I would imagine, Jim.
Absolutely. It means a lot. I mean, the Dick McConnell Award has been something that we've been passing on as coaches in Southern Arizona for over 20 years, and for Coach McConnell to be my mentor and to take over a program that is such a storied program to win the Dick McConnell Award as Coach of the Year definitely does mean a lot to me and to everybody from Saguaro.
So I ask Brian this question all the time. What did you take away from your time with Coach McConnell?
You know, it's funny, when I was young and I was just kind of coaching with him, he would just talk basketball, and it was more about how he ran his program and character and things of that sort. And I didn't understand all of it when I was young, but now that I'm a little more experienced and I've got a little, I've done some things coaching and I've seen some things, I understand kind of how he did things, and the things that are important to running a good program is kind of what I've tried to do at Saguaro is to continue that tradition and to do things kind of the way Coach would do them.
How do you look back now in this season, getting so close to bringing home that state title?
It stings not to win it, but I'm going to take all the positives from it. It was an absolute joy. It was such a fun ride. It was such a cool group of guys to coach, and to see the joy on their face as we had all of those wins along the way. That's going to be what I take from it. That's going to be what I remember.
Yeah, I mean, to that group, how many of those guys are coming back for next year?
We returned quite a few of them. I mean, we graduate 5 seniors, but we do return a lot of our core. We return 3 starters and a couple of our top guys off of the bench, and so that's definitely going to be key. They're going to have to learn how to carry that torch. Our seniors did some amazing things. You know, Nick Pons is going to be incredibly difficult to replace. He was just a special guy. He kind of became our Swiss Army knife. He could do basically whatever I asked him to do. Julian Yazone and Bryce Marine-Bess, those dudes, we talked about it earlier tonight, they would play so hard on defense and take pride in defense. And that's something that's kind of lost in basketball now, and it's going to be hard to replace guys who played with that toughness and intensity.
Well, Jim, congratulations. Any of your guys in that All-Star game coming up?
Nick Pons is playing in the All-Star game, and I'm wondering maybe Bryce is too, but I know Nick is going to be in the All-Star game for sure.
Yeah, that's Jim Henry, the head coach of Saguaro High School. I don't know if you've had a chance to see, he had a freshman guard last year by the name of Cisco Lamas. And this kid is not very big. I think he might be, 5'6", dripping wet. But, man, can this kid shoot. And he's going to be a rising sophomore. So I encourage you to get out next year and see this young man play, because he is a special, special player. Cisco Lamas for Saguaro High School. He's got 3 years left to go, so there's plenty of time to get out there and see this young man play. 5'8". All right, I said 5'6", dripping wet. 5'8" is what he's listed at, but he just had a phenomenal. I'm sorry, he's going to be a junior next year, sophomore this year, junior next year.
Dripping wet also means with shoes on. So with shoes on, 5'8".
Yeah,
that's the listing.
Averaged 18 points per ball game this past season. Shot 30% from three. In 2 years, he's been a varsity 2 years. I mean, just a nice player. Averaged 16 points as a freshman, 18 points as a sophomore, with 2 years left to go. Going to be fun to watch him over the course of the next few years over there at Saguaro High School. All right, we'll also hear tomorrow from Craig Everson of the Gregory School and Brian Peabody, who talked about this award and what it means to him. Great award they have over there every year for the best high school coaches, as voted on by their peers, which makes it even more important when the guys that you're on the sidelines with have that respect for you and believe that you've done a fabulous job of leading young men. All right, we are not done. We're taking you to 6:20 tonight, Arizona baseball against the Sun Devils up in Tempe. When we come back, we'll have much more for you. Chris Harris is going to join us. He is going to call the game tonight on the Pac-12 Network for that game between the Sun Devils and the Wildcats. It's DK on the Sports Tip. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Crash clearing Valencia and Benson Highway in Valencia. Backups on westbound Ahaway at Mission. Southbound I-19 frontage road approaching Irvington, and construction restrictions with backups westbound on Valencia approaching Park Avenue. 60 our overnight low with clear skies, sunny, 88 tomorrow and 87 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by KFC. Introducing KFC's $10 Tuesday. Get 8 hot and juicy drums and thighs for just $10. Taste it for yourself. Every Tuesday, only at KFC. It's finger licking good. Prices and participation vary. Tax, tips, and fees extra.
Escape the ordinary and indulge in a world of excitement at Park Place Mall. Discover endless possibilities with over 100 stores, restaurants, and entertainment options. Join them for the monthly Kids Club, Yappy Hour, and seasonal events. From fashion to food, it's all at Park Place Mall, where you belong.
Wildcats Radio 1290 has a chance for you to win one of 3 trips to see the Taylor Swift Eras Tour this fall. Winners receive round-trip airfare for 2, a 2-night hotel stay, 2 tickets to the concert, and $500 in spending cash. This is your text word, lavender. Text lavender right now to 95819. That's 95819. Listen weekdays between 6 a.m. and 7 p.m. for your text keyword to win tickets to see Taylor Swift on the Eras Tour. Only on Wildcats Radio 1290. Your home for in-depth conversation.
Nothing they do is by surprise. They telegraph what they want to do, and then they brag about it afterwards. It's a way to keep us at each other's throats.
The most pressing issues.
This was just a white on black crime, and you can already see the narrative starting to form in real time.
And fresh perspective.
The air marshals will not be on the airplanes because they're down at the border escorting illegal aliens to their Ubers.
America's most loved truth tellers live on Tucson's home for conservative talk. This is Freedom 1400.
Let's see, something different for dinner. Searching restaurants near me.
Right here, ma'am. How can we help?
Gee, same old, same old.
Wait, we're right here. Ma'am, our restaurant's just a few blocks from you. Why is she not seeing us?
Back to the usual, I guess.
Ma'am, can you not see us?
Nope, they can't see you. Because you're buried deep in the list of local restaurants. You are invisible online. Introducing Cumulus Boost. Get a boost, get found, get on the map. Learn more at cumulusboost.com.
We get you so close to the action at McHale, it feels like Wilbur and Wilma are in the car with you. This is the home of Arizona men's basketball. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
What up, Tucson? This is Joseph Blair, former Wildcat and assistant coach of the Washington Wizards. When I came to play basketball at the U of A in the 90s, the Tucson community became and has always remained a special part of my life. And this is why I proudly joined the Meridian Wealth Management Tucson Advisory Business Council. If you have financial questions or concerns, please be sure and call my friends Natalie or Ruben Fernandez at 719-1433 or visit online at Meridian Wealth LLC. And as always, bear down, Tucson.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Truck season. It all starts with a few simple rules. Rule number 1, buy a truck from O'Reilly Chevrolet during truck season. Rule number 2, who cares? Truck drivers are notorious for breaking the rules. Help us celebrate our 100-year anniversary and take a test drive in Motor Trend's Truck of the Year, the all-new Chevy Colorado. See us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or see us at O'Reilly.com. Rules are made to be broken. Trucks are made to be driven. O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Okay, kids, we're home. Everybody out.
Ew, my feet are stuck.
In what, honey?
On the floor.
Ew, take off your shoes. Tommy, come carry your sister into the house.
What do you do when the car you use the most has the least amount of time to get clean? Let Recon Auto Detailing, Arizona's premier auto detailing company, come to you and turn your busiest car back into your best. From basic cleaning to a full detail, Recon Auto Detailing. Online at recondetail.com.
Remember to tune in to Wildcats Radio 1290 for the biggest pregame show in the Pac-12. Because that's how we roll. We go on the air 4 hours before every football and men's basketball game all season long. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
You hear it all the time. Lawyers talk about all their experience, many years of experience with insurance companies, and experience in the courtroom. But what they're not talking about is their results. Maybe they don't have any. At Lerner & Rowe, we're proud of our results because that's how we measure our success. We've helped over 150,000 people recover billions of dollars for their injuries, with over $1 billion just in the last 5 years alone. When you want results, call Lerner & Rowe.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We are the sports station that Tucson turns to for all the latest news when it comes to Arizona men's basketball, along with all the play-by-play action. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. DK on the sports tip on Wildcats Radio 1290. And now, the best thing you will hear all day.
Hachi-machi!
It's time for the Wildcat Radio Replay. In case you missed this earlier in the day, we now bring you the best of 1290. It's made possible by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
All right, it's Arizona and Arizona State baseball tonight. You'll hear it at 6:35 with Brian Jeffries. The game will air on the Pac-12 Network. Had a chance to catch up with play-by-play man Chris Harris, an unfamiliar name, and we wanted to find out a little bit about Chris Harris. He is, however, a U of A grad.
Yeah, I've been doing it for the last 3 years, and it's been fun. Actually, I was just down in Tucson last month to do the softball series, Oregon and Arizona with Kenzie Fowler. Always great to work with Kenzie. Does such a great job, and obviously just a star in Tucson with her playing career as well. So, just been getting after it for a while here, and I'm just really excited about the game here tonight. Can't go wrong with the big rivalry game between Arizona and Arizona State.
Now, you are a U of A grad, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct.
So tell us a little bit about your collegiate years here on campus.
Yeah.
You were here late 80s, I understand.
Yeah, late 80s, early 90s, and they were fun as far as I remember. It was a good time down there. I'm actually from Scottsdale. I just made the drive south there a couple hours to get away, if you will. But had a blast in my time in Tucson with the Wildcats. In fact, my last year down there, I spent the year interning at the Sports Information Office under Tom Duddleston, the legend.
Wow.
So that was a blast learning from him. I actually got a chance to see him for a couple minutes when I was down there for that Oregon softball series with the Cats. So that was neat to see him. Always catch up. Just obviously a legend down there at Tucson Wildcats. Just had a good time down there, and it's great to see them again here tonight.
Well, before we get to baseball, then, because we are going to be talking some softball a little bit later, just your impressions on what you saw with that Arizona team as they get set to go up to the Pac-12 tournament this week to face Washington on Thursday.
Yeah, they've got a squad, obviously. I mean, the whole pitching situation's been tough for them.
Yeah.
Obviously, all season long with the injuries they've had. But that said, you look at the job that Aisa Silva has done and Miranda Stoddard and just how, Caitlin Lowe's been able to piece that staff together and the pitchers they've had there in the circle and the job they've done all year long. They kind of answered the bell and have kept them in a good spot. And, hopefully they have some success, this week, up at Stanford. So that said, I just saw ASU and UCLA just did that series softball this past weekend and got a chance to see Maya Brady and the Bruins up close. And, boy, they are peaking at the right time, the stuff they're doing. And as you look at their roster, it's funny, you imagine what it was going to be like. They lost, the Cats did, Charlize Palacios and Mayoño to UCLA. You wonder what that Wildcats team would have looked like if they had not transferred out.
Yeah.
So,
don't remind us, Chris.
Yeah, exactly. I was going through my notes. I'm like, oh my gosh, if they would have just stayed in Tucson. But yeah, that being said, that the players they've got there now, the job they've done, Emily Sheff at catcher, the freshman's done a wonderful job, and obviously Reagan Shockey out in center field. What a pleasant player she is. She is a blast to watch, and she's got a bright future there with Arizona for sure.
Arizona Wildcats grad Chris Harris is our guest. He'll be on the call tonight for the Pac-12 Network, Arizona and Arizona State. These midweek games are always kind of interesting, Chris, just because, you're not sure what you're going to get in terms of if they're going to go bullpen game, which we've seen Chip Hale do quite a bit this year. And then a couple weeks, it was actually last week against GCU, they got into a situation where he's like, well, I'm not going to throw any of my high leverage relievers in this game after they got down 12-8, and he kind of threw freshmen out there, and some of those freshmen took some lumps in what ended up being a 16-run loss. So what are you anticipating we're going to see in this game? Even though it's a rivalry game, it's still a midweek game between these two teams.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think it's going to be pretty much similar to what you just mentioned about the GCU game. I have not had a chance to talk to the coaches yet. In fact, I'm going to do that once we get done here. But I think when you look at it, as you said, it's a non-conference game, if you will. But, Arizona, they still got two more Pac-12 series to go, at Utah, and then they got Oregon State. And then, if you look at ASU and what they've got coming up, their last Pac-12 series, is this coming up weekend at Stanford. So I think their eyes are going to be more on those games, if you will, than tonight's game. But that being said, it is a rivalry game, and each team does obviously want to win. And all you got to do is go back to the comments after Sunday's win, if you're Arizona, and Brendan Summerhill, and what he had to say about what he wanted to do, obviously, against Arizona. And then, Willie Bloomquist, ASU's former All-American, now the head coach, answered in kindly right back to Summerhill's comments. And so the fireworks are definitely going to be there tonight. So I'm looking forward to that, no doubt about it. The emotions will be running high with tonight's game.
So how many times have you seen Arizona baseball this year?
I have not seen them too many times, just a couple. So I'm really looking forward to what we got going on here tonight. Yeah.
So what do
it's obviously what they've done this season, though. That being said, Chip Hale, what a job they've done, leading the Pac-12 conference, 19 in the country. Obviously they're rolling right now.
What is, I guess, from what you've been able to gather and study, what has stood out to you, just kind of the way this offense has come together? One of the themes has been obviously the struggles they had early in the season, but have really put it together over the course of the last 6 weeks with guys like you said, Brendan Summerhill, and then of late, the freshman Andrew Kane out of Ironwood Ridge, who has just been absolutely raking the ball.
Yeah, no, you nailed it. Those two guys, and obviously, another local guy out of South Point, Mason White.
Right.
And the job he's really done all season long. I mean, what he's done is incredible. 14 home runs on the year. Tied for third in the Pac-12, the most by any Arizona shortstop. Dating back to the 1998 season. Through the Stat Crew era. So the job he's done, he's got a 17-game, hitting streak. So what he's done has been phenomenal. And obviously, it's been the pitching, for Arizona. It's really carried them all year. They rank, the best pitching staff in the conference with so many stats. So, it's the arms that's really carried them. But, yeah, now that the offense is picking up, they're becoming a much more dangerous team moving forward.
Chris Harris joining us, broadcaster for the Pac-12 Network, will be on the call tonight for Arizona and Arizona State up in Phoenix Municipal Stadium, just a little bit outside of Tempe. What's the sense for being up in Phoenix, what's the sense you get, Chris, of the job and the feeling about what Willie Bloomquist is doing there with the Sun Devils?
They feel like he's doing a good job, no doubt about it. I mean, when you're at ASU, kind of like at Arizona, the expectations are high. I mean, each of the programs have won, enough national championships over the years. You look at, ASU, they've won 5 national championships during their time, and Arizona's won 4. So that's always the goal, at least to get to Omaha in the College World Series, or at the minimum, make a deep run in the postseason. So, Willie kind of like Chip Hale in his 3rd season with the Sun Devil program, and like Chip, an alumni that played at the school. So obviously they want to see him do well, and certainly they're trending in the right direction. It's just taking a little bit of time, especially in this new world, if you will, of college athletics and all of the changes going on with NIL and transfer rules and everything. It's just become difficult to navigate along the way.
Yeah, you talk about obviously the 2 guys leading these programs now here within the state, both guys with big league pedigrees. Chip obviously played a little, Willie probably a little bit more better as a player. Chip obviously managing in the big leagues. What do you think that does for a college program to have guys leading it like that have those extensive big league pedigrees versus maybe a guy that just came up, like obviously our last coach here, Jay Johnson, who was a guy that just came up through the college ranks?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the end goal for all these players is to make it to the big league.
Right.
So when you're under a guy that has been there and done that, has that experience, I mean, that carries a lot of weight. So obviously you want to learn from the people that have been there, and you got guys like Chip and Willie. Those are 2 great guys to have leading your program. Now that being said, Jay Johnson, coming up through another route, as you mentioned, he's had great success doing it his own way.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if there's no really wrong way. It's just that, different ways, if you will. But certainly, the Major League Baseball pedigree certainly carries a lot of weight with these college players.
Again, we're chatting with Chris Harris, Arizona Wildcats grad. So, Chris, you've done some Rattlers stuff up there in Phoenix. I understand. What other endeavors have you gotten into on the broadcast side since your time down here in Tucson?
Yeah, I've done the Rattlers. Gosh, I got to think about this now. I was with the Utah Jazz for 8 years, as well as the University of Utah, kind of doing sideline reporting, some play-by-play. On the University of Utah side, some sideline reporting. Did all that during my time up in Salt Lake City, and then since I got back here from that, I do a lot of the high school state championships as well. So we've got the softball and baseball state championships coming up next Monday and Tuesday. So I've been heavily involved in that as well. So it's been kind of fun to see a lot of the players that you cover during their high school careers, and then you get to see them again. Once they get to the college level, sometimes the pro level. It's been fun to watch the journey.
As somebody that spent some time in Salt Lake City, what are your thoughts on the Coyotes' move there?
Well, they're going to love them there. It's just, that market's ready to roll. I mean, we see the numbers of season tickets already sold. I mean, last I saw, and this was like kind of when it all shook out. Like, it was like around 12,000 season tickets they sold right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that being said, it kind of stinks that obviously that the Coyotes left town, but hopefully at some point in time we're able to get a NHL franchise back here, because this is a hockey town. It's just the situation didn't exactly work out with the last group there with the Coyotes.
That was the Wildcat Radio Replay with the best of the best from 1290. It's brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
Chris Harris from the Pac-12 Network's got the call tonight on the TV side. Arizona State. Braden Zastro on the mound, the lefty for the Wildcats, 1-2, a 4.86 ERA. And Wyatt Halverson for the Sun Devils, 1-3, a 7.11 earned run average. That's going to wrap it up for us. Brian Jeffries is up next. Arizona State from Tempe. Bear down, Arizona.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy.